Welcome along to the second match of the Epic Group All-Stars Series. This match is between the Kowloon Lions and the Hong Kong Islanders. The Hong Kong Islanders are the home team, so I'll hand the coin over to Jamie. It's a number or a flower. Away we go.
Flower.
Flower is Kwong. Flower it is. Jamie, what?
Welcome to Game 2 of the Epic Group All-Stars Series. Game 2 sees the Hong Kong Islanders face off against Kowloon Lions. The Kowloon Lions, of course, playing their second game of the day. One change for them. Fast bowler Gundeep Sandhu into the side. Mehran Zaib is the unlucky one to miss out. For the Hong Kong Islanders, skippered by Jamie Atkinson, they're playing their first game of the tournament. No Simandeep Singh. We'll have Ninad Shah in the top order. Waqas Khan, of course, helping out Jamie Atkinson with batting duties. And let's not forget the all-round talent, Harun Arshad. In terms of bowling, we've got the spin twins, Ehsan Khan and Mohammad Ghazanfar, with their off-spin and leg spin, respectively. And someone who's been talked up by Coach Trent Johnson, Ayush Shukla. Young, right arm quick, so some exciting talent. And just an update on when we're going to get underway. A bit of a delayed start, just some logistical issues to sort out here, but we should be ready to go at 1:45 local time, so that's 11:15 p.m. a.m. Indian Standard Time. I'm one of your commentators for the day, Jay Dansinghani. If you like what you've heard so far, you can follow me on Twitter at JCricketDude, and make sure to get us on social media. Hit that subscribe button, smash that bell icon, and find us across social media at CricketHK.
Hello everyone, welcome. Today we are here with Hong Kong cricket team at the Curry Leaf Indian Cuisine restaurant here in Jordan. We'll be joined with three cricketers, so come let's meet them. Dr. Khan, Mr. Aftab Hussain, and Waqas Khan. So we'll be testing the local Hong Kong cuisine as well as some of the restaurant's most popular dishes and see if these well-known Hong Kong cricketers can guess what food they're tasting. Easy, right?
This is Chinese, we call fish ball.
No, that's correct.
Fish ball.
Okay, quick. All right.
Fish ball.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, chicken tikka. Tandoori chicken tikka.
It's very close. It's a tikka dish. Okay.
Tastes like
Okay, no problem. Actually, I'll show you afterwards what this is. Is it close?
sweet takeout.
Close enough. It's actually the pineapple part. Follow how it. The name starts with fruit.
Pineapple.
That's correct.
This is one of my favorite pani puri.
Yes, that's correct. He said pani, isn't it? That's
Pani
correct.
puri.
Pani puri, that's correct. Yes, I think this is the easiest one.
This is egg cake.
Yeah, that's correct. This is egg tart. Okay, you didn't even eat it. It was like
Definitely.
okay, yeah, right. Okay, correct.
Chicken tikka.
Right. This time you're correct. Oh, good guess. Okay, that was a quick one. Yes, finally, it's going right.
Once again, welcome to 2 of the Epic Group All-Star Series. If you're just joining us, Kowloon have won the toss, and this time they will be batting first. An interesting change in strategy. In any case, let's just run you through the teams once more. So Kowloon making just one change from the last game. Gundeep Sandhu is into the team. A little bit of fast bowling cover. Mehran Zaib misses out. So we've got Dan Pascoe and Ahan Trivedi, the spin duo. Azaz Khan, of course. Unfortunately, Azaz Khan was unable to bowl in that first game. So perhaps that's why Gundeep Sandhu has been brought in. In terms of batsmen, Nizakat Khan, the man in form, fresh off 110 of 60 deliveries. Zishan Ali, wicketkeeper batsman. There's Jack Medders, who's been in really good form in club cricket. Expect to see him in the middle order. And of course, Ehsan Ayaz, so impressive along with Ahan Trivedi in the middle overs with his left arm medium pace. Another left armer, of course, in Dhananjay Rao. I believe that's all of them. So let's move on to the Hong Kong Islanders. Ayush Shukla, promising right arm seamer. Ehsan Khan, seems to get younger every time we see him. How old is he? 34? Maybe 33. Effective off spinner nonetheless. Will be supported in the spin department by Mohammad Ghazanfar. All-rounder Harun Arshad, one of Hong Kong's most improved players in the last 18 months. Let's not forget about skipper Jamie Atkinson, who will also be taking the gloves, I believe. Waqas Khan, he's equally capable of stepping up behind stumps. He will be an important part of their top order. Simandeep Singh sitting out this game. But we've also got the left arm pace variety of Mohsin Khan, a little bit of Muhammad Waheed, and university player Akbar Khan. Former university player. Apologies. He has graduated since. So yes, we are around 9 minutes away from kickoff here. And if you're just joining us today and you missed the morning game, in Game 1, a 32-run victory for the Kowloon Lions, so it's their second game today. I'm one of your commentators for the day, or for this game, Jay Dansigahani, and I'm joined by...
Very good afternoon to all the listeners there. I'm Sahil Magoo and I will be with Jay for this afternoon. The morning game you were talking about, a win for Kowloon Lions by 32 runs, 110 score for Nizakat Khan. How was the innings when you were watching it from the sidelines?
I'll tell you what, it was a really interesting innings. 3 early maximums, but a lot of opportunities, lots of plays and misses, edges down to fine leg, edges down to his pad. He was also dropped 3 times, but he made the most of his luck. 8 maximums, if memory serves me correctly, and he just stepped into another gear. For the neutral spectator, as well as the Kowloon Lions dugout, an absolute treat to watch that innings.
Yeah, I was hearing the live commentary in the morning and there was a healthy debate going on that is Nizakat Khan the best player in Hong Kong? And then Nitish went on to say in Southeast Asia probably.
Best to watch.
Best to watch. So, left-handed batsman or the right-handed batsman and the technique. So we got all the plays in for the first game. So I was listening to all of that was being shared in the morning. Let's see whether he can replicate the same in the second game, because if he does so, then that would mean that Kowloon Lions will probably be a part in the finals, because another win for them will certainly be like 100% assurance for them in the finals. But even if they're not to win this game, probably they would want to keep the margin very low so that the net run rate would help them go through the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call. And now that you say that, I'm starting to understand why they have chosen to bat first upon winning the toss. So successful with that strategy in the first game. Perhaps they think, hey, you know what? If it's not broken, why try and fix it?
Absolutely. And in a game like this, when you have to play back-to-back games, you want to save your bowlers for the later half of the game, because they just bowled out 20 overs. You want to give them some rest. You want to bat so that they're in the shed, they get some rest and they come out strong. Because if they had to bowl again, probably their bowlers wouldn't be as fresh as the other team, which is Hong Kong Islanders, because they are playing their first game. So they're going to be fresh and they're going to be more charged in terms of the bowling. So that's why they wanted to give rest to their bowlers, and I think that change also where Mehran Zeb has been rested out, another fast pacer has been brought in, is to do for the same fact that if they can get their bowlers up ready for the game, after this, if they win this one or even if they lose by a narrow margin, they'll probably have to play tomorrow in the finals. That would be their mindset. Whereas for Hong Kong Islanders, it's their first game. They will want to prove a point, and if they secure a win here, then pretty much again you're looking at the finals, because it's such a short tournament that one win or one loss can decide the fate of your team in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. And I think a good move as well, getting in that extra quick bowler. We didn't quite know exactly how the pitch would play in the morning, but we haven't really seen any purchase, any sort of help for the spinners.
Yeah.
So that short ball tactic, dig it in nice and short, get the batsman to aim towards the longer square boundaries. That seems like the way forward in this game. And we saw a lot of straight sixes as well, especially from Nizakat. Anytime the bowler was bowling from the Argyle Street end, you always knew, okay, you know what, we might lose $650 and yet another ball. And
that was probably Nitesh's one of concerns, that the team group would run out of balls because they were being smashed here and there in the morning. But as you rightly pointed out, that the straight grounds is probably easier to target if the ball is over pitched, if it's in the arc, out of the park. That's the philosophy for a lot of cricketers, and these big build cricketers, if it's in the arc, even if it's a mistimed shot, it will go for a 6. We saw that in the first game, and when you bowl it short, then the only opportunity that the bowler has is that whether it's not coming, it's difficult for the batsman to decide the pace, right? Whether if it's a mistimed shot, you might get an opportunity. We saw that in the first game that there were good bouncers bowled, there were opportunities. There was a catch dropped by a keeper, I think it was Adit, if I'm not mistaken, when Nizakat was
there
batting.
were a couple.
Yeah. Well, not gonna go there now because they would want to rectify their mistakes of the first game and then get a win when we talk about New Territories Tigers, because a loss by 32 runs, again, getting down to the fact that it will impact their net run rate severely, and they would somewhere deep down want Kowloon Lions to win this game so that it can be a virtual semi-final for them when they face off Hong Kong Islanders. Whoever wins from that game then can play in the finals. So it will be very interesting to see how this game pans out, and there's a lot of entertainment in store for all our viewers who have tuned in. And probably if I would have to ask you to put your prediction hat, what do you think this game, how will this game pan out to be?
I'm gonna have to go with the informed Kowloon Lions. They're coming in with momentum. Yes, it's got to be the Kowloon Lions. Nizakat Khan in absolute tip-top shape, great form, and they're gonna be a hard team to beat.
Well, absolutely. It looks like that. We'll have to see whether Hong Kong Islanders have something special to pull off in this game. But interesting aspect would be for the Kowloon Lions is that apart from Nizakat Khan, if you see the other players got a serrated start, not much to contribute from their end. So they would want not to just focus on one player, but to bring out their best game as well, so that they're at least prepared for the finals if they are to make it there.
You actually make a really, really good point there. And because of that, I'm going to switch my prediction to the Hong Kong Islanders.
Oh, that was quite quick, but...
You've made a believer out of me, what can I say?
Yeah, because if you see... Imagine if one of those chances were taken early on when Nizakat was batting, probably then someone in the middle order would have to step up. And we were looking at the team lineup that they had to change their batting orders as well. One of, I think, was it Metters who was promoted up the order? No, it was Daniel Pascoe who was promoted up the order, right? Sorry about that. He was promoted up the order, and whereas he was slated to bat lower in the batting team, but then because they have so many big hitters, they wanted someone who could stabilize the innings. So if they find themselves in a situation where they end up losing again 3-4 quick wickets, especially in the middle overs, then it will be interesting to see what strategy the team uses. But T20, it's a very quick game, right? Everything happens so quickly. 1 over can decide where this game is going. The momentum changes. I remember in the morning I was watching this over, probably New Territory Tigers were in the game, but that 1 over from the skipper Kinchit Shah where Nizakat Khan scored a 6, 4 and a 6 in 3 consecutive deliveries got them the momentum that they needed for that big total.
Absolutely. And with that, we're just over a minute away from the start of Game 2. The umpires are out in the middle, and the Islanders, they're making their way out in the middle too. We're going to get confirmation in a minute on who the two openers are. Predictably, I see Nazakat Khan walking out.
Yes, and we'll have to see as to who is opening along with him. But Nazakat Khan, and from Kowloon Lions' perspective, they would want him to take his time, settle in. He's seeing the ball well. He scored 100 in the first game itself. They would want him to continue in the same vein and get his team off to a good start yet again. We'll have to see as to who will open the proceedings for Hong Kong Islanders. By the looks of it, it's gonna be...
It's Ehsan Ayaz once again. So we've got a right-left opening combo.
Yes, that's going to be nice. And when we talk about the Hong Kong Islanders, it's going to be Haroon Arshad who will be starting the proceedings. And another quick fast bowler. He would want to make an impact in the game early itself by taking up a wicket. And if he can get that breakthrough in the first over itself, what a confidence booster would it be for Hong Kong Islanders who are playing their first game of this tournament. The sun is set, the mood is set, and we are all in awe of what we saw in the morning. We just hope that we can get another game where there are boundaries to be had, boundaries to be shared, sixes in plenty, so that HK Cricket Hong Kong doesn't run out of the deliveries. But we have to see as to how Nazakat Khan, or what mindset Nazakat Khan has for this game.
And we're almost ready to go. Haroon Arshad with his signature headband. And it's play. Haroon Arshad. Back of length, but down the leg side. A wayward beginning for Haroon Arshad. A bit of a breeze blowing from our left to our right. Perhaps that just making it hard for him to find his radar.
Absolutely, and it's the first delivery that he has bowled. You could see that immediately he's trying to adjust his footing, and probably he would want to keep the same line and length, same length, but alter the line and be more towards the fifth stump, probably towards the offside, and then get it back to the right-handed batsman. And if he can do that, there will be some purchase because of the wind, as you mentioned, is going from left to right at the moment. We'll see whether he can get the ball to swing in back to the right-handed batsman.
Here comes Haroon once again. And yet another wide.
So it's 0 deliveries both so far, and Kowloon Lions are 2 for no loss. And probably, again, as a batting unit, you would want to take your time in the middle, make most of the power play overs, and then get your team off to a good start. Probably just lose 1 wicket at the most, not more than that. And if you're able to go without losing a wicket, that would be an ideal start, scoring about 40-45 runs.
That's right, Sahil. Haroon Arshad. Oh, and he's made it a hat-trick of wides to begin with.
Yes, as we were mentioning earlier also, he has to probably focus more on bowling on the fifth stump in regards of the off stump where the batsman is, because there is movement, there is breeze, and the ball is going wayward towards the leg side, and as a result it's 3 extras as of now, yet to be facing a legal delivery, Nazakat Khan, and he would want this to be probably more on the pads rather than on the off stump so that it doesn't trouble him much. We'll have to see whether this one is a legal delivery or not as the bowler races up. This time wrapped on the pads.
Oh, and it's a no ball this time, so it's gonna be a free hit.
That would have been so close. We were talking about the ball swinging the right-handed batsman, and that was pretty much where he would have wanted his ball to be. But again, it's not a legal delivery, it's a no ball, and it will be a free hit.
And it's not just any free hit, it's a free hit to Nazakat Khan from the Argyle Street end with short, straight boundaries.
Yes, we'll have to see as to what Nazakat Khan has in store for this one. But there is some movement for the opening bowler, and there's some movement for Haroon Arshad, and the swing, he would be happy with the delivery that he bowled. It's not a legal one, but if he can continue with this channel, if he can persist with this line and length, I think he will be able to disturb Nazakat Khan. Free hit coming up.
Oh, and it's cut off by the man at mid-on who runs around. The batsman will get 2. For a minute, I thought that was going to carry to the boundary, perhaps 1 bounce. Very lucky break for the Islanders. That could have gotten really ugly there.
Yes, first legal delivery for the Islanders, so they'll be happy about that fact. But if you see, Kowloon Lions are already 6 runs from the first delivery that was bowled because of the extras that have been conceded, and that didn't come from the middle of the bat, wasn't timed properly. But nevertheless, a good start for Kowloon Lions. There's 6 for no loss after the first delivery, which is the legal delivery. But you can see the movement that is there. Meanwhile, Harun Arshad. We were talking about the movement, and that's the swing exactly. That's the channel he would want to bowl at, because purchase from there, the breeze that's there will get the ball back into the right-handed batsman, and that's where he'll be uncertain. If he tries to play across, there are chances of him getting struck on the pads or getting an inside edge or even a top edge, which can result in an early wicket for the Islanders. What do you think about this line and length that the bowler has now tried to focus on rather than drifting towards the leg side?
You know, it's interesting you bring up the point of LBWs. I don't believe we saw an LBW in the first game, just because of how green the wicket is. Oh, once again, right on cue, that extra lift from the surface. A really good pitch, it must be said. Really great work from the groundsman here.
Yeah, it looks like a belter of a track. If you look at the first look at it, it looks like a batting paradise, but at the same time, it has a lot in store for the bowlers. There is bounce, there is movement. So you just, as a batsman, probably you would want to spend some time before you go for your shots. But for a bowler, if you get your line and length right, if you have that little bit of assistance in terms of the breeze, I think it's like an even contest. It won't be favoring a batsman or a bowler. There's an even contest to be fought out. This one again on the pads. This time it's going to the fine leg region. Will it be cut off? No, it won't be. So it will be 4 leg buys, and with that, the bowler kind of struggling with his line of length, we have to say, because extras been given, and at the same time it's going towards the leg side and more runs for Kowloon Lions. So good start already for Kowloon Lions, who have got an excess of double digits, and they would be happy that if they can continue in this vein in the first 6 overs, they would have maximized the power play overs.
Sahil, it's an interesting field because we've got a deep fine leg and what looks like a deep square leg, but we haven't really seen Harun Arshad dig it in and bend his back.
Well, absolutely, and this time another full delivery has been flicked away. We'll have to see whether there are a couple of runs or is a single. Yes, they will be coming back for 2 runs and they will make it easily. So good start, one has to say, for Kowloon Lions, because now you can see Nizakat again middling the ball. The couple of deliveries earlier he wasn't getting the middle, but now this one was middle. Right point again there, Jay, that he's not bowling short, but he has the field where he would probably want to bounce him out or like greet him with a couple of bouncers. We'll see whether he has a couple of bouncers in store in this next delivery. Harun Arshad to Nizakat Khan. This time it's good length delivery and has been defended well by Nizakat Khan to mark the end of the first over.
12 runs off it. It's 12 for no loss after 1.
A decent over, one will say, in terms for the batting unit. For the bowler, probably there was too many extras conceded and he would have wanted to
Boundary leg buys?
Sorry?
The boundary leg buys?
Yeah.
Was that? Was the boundary for Nizaka was actually leg buys?
I think it was leg bars.
Yeah. No, your score has it as runs.
Yeah, leg bars. I think it was.
You've got it as runs.
What?
I think you've got it as runs.
Haven't? I've got it like twice.
Okay.
What?
So skipper Jamie Atkinson behind the stumps,
You're right, mate.
and we're going to try and see who's bowling the next over. If I'm not mistaken, it should be Mohsin.
Yeah, Mohsin Khan.
And yes, the left arm variety of Mohsin Khan. Sahil, it's quite interesting the way the teams have been designed, the 3 teams have been designed. There's one left arm pacer, at least one left arm pacer in each of the teams. We have Mohsin Khan here. In the opposition, we have...
Dhananjay and Ehsan Ayaz.
Yes, we have Dhananjay and Ehsan Ayaz.
And the new territories had Ashley Caddy.
That's right, Nitesh. The New Territories Tigers had Ashley Caddy.
Well, left armers are a treat to watch, aren't they? Like if they can swing the ball back to the batsman. But it's a left-handed batsman, so he'll be fairly comfortable with the ball going outside. We'll have to see what he has in store.
Oh,
Yes,
what a
Taking a miss.
outswinger straight away for the left-handed batsman. And the breeze again, this time taking it across the left-handed batsman. I'll be more interested to see the right-handed batsman, which is Nizakat Khan, face the left-arm bowler, if he can bring it back to the right-handed batsman, because we've seen a lot of wristy players when we talk about players from the Indian or the Pakistani contingent. They are wristy, but at the same time the late movement you see them struggle against the left-arm bowlers. We've seen the greatest greats like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, all of them struggle against left-arm pacers. We'll have to see whether that's in store for us later or not.
Oh, a rare mistake there from Jamie Atkinson, but it won't cost the Islanders anything. Once again, just a little bit of movement there from Dhananjay coming into the left-hander and just holding its shape to be outside edge.
Yes, it's probably going to go away from the left-handed batsman, and if he can bring the ball back in, then that would be more troubles for the left-handed batsman. He's yet to get off the mark. Couple of deliveries for him, at least no extras so far, so he's got his line and length right in comparison to what happened in the first over. This time has been defended well, but no runs yet.
Really good shape though from Mohsin, a solid start.
That's not the batsman.
Scored 100.
University cricket. He's got a lot of hundreds in club.
For those of you who don't know, Ehsan Ayaz has scored quite a few hundreds in club cricket and university cricket. Yet to fire in this tournament. He's on strike. Oh, that should be out.
And it is.
And it is, yes. A loud nick there. So Ehsan Ayaz falls cheaply yet again for the second time today.
Yeah, probably the thing that we were discussing, that Kowloon Lions, if they end up losing quick wickets, they will be in a rut, because this is exactly what happened in the first game as well. It was Nizakat Khan who saved them. We'll have to see whether the captain, is it Ayaz Khan who's walking in?
Azaz Khan.
Should be
Yes.
Ayaz, yeah.
So he'll have to have a partnership with Nizakat, and they'll probably have to rebuild, given how Hong Kong Islanders have gotten that early wicket. Good line and length from Mohsin Khan. He was bowling the outswingers, didn't concede any extras, didn't let the batsman get off the strike, and the pressure resulted in a wicket. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you expect from your opening bowlers.
Yeah, really important to get an early wicket, especially when you have Azaz Khan walking out to the crease inside the power play. You know, we talked about this before the game as well. I think the Kowloon Lions perhaps a little bit top heavy here. The two best batsmen at the crease right now. If one of them gets out cheaply, puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the lineup. And in that first game, Nizakat, really lucky to be dropped. Played really well, but very fortunate to be dropped 3 times.
Exactly, and this is the contest that I would want to see. A right-handed batsman and a left-arm bowler. If he can get the ball in, if there's some late movement, there will be a chance of getting another wicket. And if that happens, the batting team will find themselves in a difficult spot, because as we said again, they lost early wickets in the previous game, but Nizakat Khan was there to rescue them, and he was lucky because he was dropped a couple of times. We'll have to see as to how this unfolds now. Starts off with a wide to the right-handed batsman, and that extra is something that the Hong Kong Islanders would want to keep a lid on, because if you're giving these extra runs, even the fact that the wicket has fallen, the batting team won't be under pressure, because they are in excess of 8.5 runs already, even if they don't score any more runs in this over.
Sahil, what do you think's a good score in the power play?
Given on this pitch, it looks like around 45 to 50 with the loss of 1 wicket, if you can get somewhere around that. In the first game, we saw in excess of 60 plus. Meanwhile, this has been tucked towards the leg side for a single, and it will just be another run. So Azaz gets off the mark with that one, and it will be Nizakat Khan who will be on strike. Somewhere around 50, if you can get in the first 6 overs without getting too much, losing too many wickets, is something that would be a good start, I would say, because you would want to keep your wickets in hand as well. But if one of your openers gets off to a great start, you can take them to 60 plus. That's what happened in the first game in the morning. We'll have to see whether it happens again today.
It's interesting you say that. I think the Kowloon Lions managed to get 58 or 59 in the first 6 in the last game. As here comes Mohsin Khan. Watchfully played from Nizakat. And that closes out the second over. It's 14 for 1. Like I was saying, they scored 58 or 59, the Kowloon Lions, in the power play in the last game. The only thing about that is, you know, there were a few drop catches, and the Tigers, they learned the hard way that if you're going to err too full or too short, you'd rather err too short and make the batsman hit towards these shorter square boundaries.
Change in bowling.
So they learned that the hard way. So I do agree with you. Yeah, I think 50 for 1 is probably a really good score in the power play. But After losing an early wicket, the Kowloon Lions have some work to do.
Yeah, and with that, there's change in bowling right away because Harun Arshad was probably struggling with the new ball. It was drifting towards the leg side, and as a result, there were too many extras. And now we will be seeing Ayush Shukla, who will be bowling the third over for Hong Kong Islanders, and this is going to be an interesting battle once again. Ayush Shukla here to Azaz Khan.
Oh, a little bit of shape away from the right-hander. Ayush Shukla, he's been talked up, in our pre-match build-up by myself and, of course, by Trent Johnston. He's got some wheels, and apparently he can move the ball around as well.
Yeah, we saw a glimpse of that in the first delivery. It was an overpitch delivery, moving away from the right-handed batsman. There was swing on offer. We'll have to see whether he alters his line and gets it more closer towards the middle stump and then takes it away from the right-handed batsman. The second delivery.
Oh, he's got pace, but he's disappeared even quicker. Azaz Khan with his first boundary over the fielder at long off. Apologies, mid off.
Overpitched once again, and as a result, Azaz Khan, probably his eyes would have lit up seeing that it's in his zone. And as we were talking about deliveries that are in the zone, it's out of the park easily because of the batsman, the kind of flair these batsmen have. We'll have to see whether he alters his line on this occasion or not. This one again has been tucked away towards the mid-wicket region, and that will be another boundary. So consecutive boundaries there for Azaz Khan, and Kowloon Lions pretty much after that loss of the first wicket, they would want to settle the nerves and get on with the scoring rate.
And that was a beautiful shot as well. Maintained his balance so well, didn't fall over, didn't try and overhit the ball either. Just a beautiful piece of timing.
Yes, we'll have to see as to what are the changes or what does Ayush Shukla have up his sleeve in order to combat this spree of boundaries. The next delivery has been ticked in the air. This could be a chance. Oh,
The man at mid-wicket. It's always tough running back.
yes, it is, and I think he misjudged it because he was trying to get back, but he was clearly not in a comfortable position where he could have extended his hand or at least gotten a chance on that one. But as a bowler, you'll have to feel for it because a couple of boundaries and then you create a chance. It's these chances that you would want them to go in your favor because as a batsman, it's just another day to live out and score more runs.
And I think that's the second time in the over the commentator's curse has taken effect. We were talking up Ayush Shukla, gets dispatched for 2 boundaries. We started talking up Azaz. Provides a chance and another chance that's dropped.
How crucial
The
is
man
this
at
gonna be?
mid-wicket once again.
This is going to be very crucial because the man who has been dropped is Nizakat Khan, and we know what happened in the first game. He went on to score a century after he was dropped by a couple of players in the New Territories Tigers team, and again we have seen back-to-back drops. The first one perhaps easier in comparison to this one, but this one should have been taken. So a costly miss this.
4th time Nizakat has been dropped today. He's living a charmed life. That's wide down the leg side yet again.
Well, if New Territory Tigers were to play their next game, they already know where they didn't perform well. It was in the field probably where they dropped the catches. If Hong Kong Islanders were seeing them, they would have talked about one thing: let's not drop our catches. Rest, whatever happens, probably we can fix that. And already we've seen in the third over, 2 chances gone down, and how costly they're going to be, we'll have to see in the remaining deliveries. This time, back of the line delivery, well defended. Runs have come already from this over. It's the chances that they have been ruined by the bowling team, and they will be probably upset of the fact that they didn't get another wicket in this over.
Absolutely. 2 boundaries, 2 drop catches, and 11 runs. Off an eventful third over, it's 25 for 1. So it's Mohsin, the left armour, to continue from the other end. Nizakat Khan, what can he do? Wrapped on the pads, and they sneak through for what I assume is a leg bye. Yes. One leg by brings Azaz back on strike.
Good delivery there yet again from Mohsin Khan, but even if it tapped on the pads, the height was an issue there, and that's why there was no appeal from the bowler or the fielders, and a comfortable single for the batsman. But you can see that the left arm bowler and the right-handed batsman, the matchups that we were talking about, the ball coming back into the right-handed batsman is something that the right-handed batsmen don't like, unless it's over pitched and in their arc. When it's good length or back of the length and it's coming back, it certainly disturbs the right-handed batsman's flow. This time has been tucked away towards the leg side, but no run there, as there is protection in the form of Ayush Shukla, who bowled a great over. I wouldn't say like a match-winning over, but it could have been, because both these batsmen, had those chances been taken, probably at least one of them would have been back in the huddle. But as far as stats stand now, he conceded 11 runs, and no one would talk about those drop chances. Mohsin Khan running in for the next delivery. This time has been tucked away for a quick single on the leg side, and as a result the strike will be changed. It will be Nizakat Khan who will be on strike now. So this is good, smart play from both the batsmen. They tried going for the big shots. They realized that they both have gotten lucky once. Now they're just rotating the strikes and probably will wait for the loose delivery where they can capitalize on.
Absolutely. And just a quick recap, if you're just joining us, the Kowloon Lions won the toss and decided to bat first. It's 27 for 1. We're halfway through the 4th over. Here comes Mohsin Khan. And that's yet another wide. That's got to be wide number 6 for the day. But yes, if you're just joining us, 28 for 1. Halfway through the 4th over. The Kowloon Lions, wearing grey and purple. They're the batting team. And the Hong Kong Islanders, a really nice kit, it must be said. Green and blue, very aquatic colors. The kit, of course, being provided by Montgomery Sports. Here comes Mohsin. Wrapped on the pads, an optimistic appeal.
It's the height factor again. Probably the height that's going to save him. Nizakat Khan already too tall, and then wrapping on his pads, probably above the knee roll. So height is always going to be a factor there. But the bowler, he has his tail up, and he would certainly let a chance go by. If there's a chance to appeal, he will. But the good thing is, one end for Hong Kong Islanders is that Mohsin Khan is bowling really well. He's getting the ball to shape in back towards the right-handed batsman. He has provided the first wicket. If he can take one more wicket here, that would be interesting to see for the Hong Kong Islanders. Meanwhile, this one has been played for a single at least, and it will be just a single. So decent start again, I would say, from Mohsin Khan for a second over. He hasn't given away many runs, and he has controlled both these attacking batsmen, and probably you would want them to close the over in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, coming back to those kits, some really, really nice colors. Purple and grey. Green and blue for the Islanders. Yet another wide delivery. But yes, those kits being provided courtesy of Montgomery Sports. Afzal Haider, if you're watching, good afternoon, and we hope to see you at one of the games. Afzal Haider, of course, he runs Montgomery Sports. Really, really nice kits. I have to say, the New Territories Tigers looking really good in orange as well.
That's true, orange and black, contrasting colors, like vibrant colors, I would say. And this one, meanwhile, back to the game, has been played out for yet another dot. Concludes the over, another good over from Mohsin Khan, apart from those two extras that he conceded. But it's the fact that from the other end, who is it going to be, and how these attacking batsmen are going to face the next bowler will be interesting to see. So 4 overs gone, and Kowloon Lions are, I would say, a decent start for them. What do you reckon, Jay?
31 for 1. They did need to consolidate after losing that early wicket. So it's a decent start. We still have 2 overs left in the power play.
Might be another change in bowling.
And we're trying to confirm whether we have another change in bowling. It certainly looks like it.
Number 10. Mohammed Wahid. Another young fast bowler.
And we've got Mohammed Wahid into the attack. So just the 1 over for Ayush Shukla. Perhaps a little harsh taking him out of the attack.
On over spells.
1 over spells for Harun Arshad and Ayush Shukla. 2 overs for Mohsin Khan because he didn't give away too many runs. He got got Hong Kong Islanders the wicket as well. Probably they just want to try another pacer with the new ball before the power play comes to an end. Let's see whether this works for the Hong Kong Islanders or not. The first delivery, pitch slashed hard, and that's gonna be a boundary. It took the outside edge, but when you go for it, you slash hard, and as a result, it was not in the hands of the fielder. It would be 4 runs for Azaz Khan. So not from the middle of the bat, but 4 runs nonetheless.
So a comment on Mohammad Wahid's recent form in an under 17 game for PACC. I think the most recent one. He hit 70 odd and took 4 wickets as well, while captaining the side to a victory. So a very talented young fast bowling all-rounder.
Straight away he created an opportunity,
Yeah.
got Azaz Khan to flash hard on that one, but unlucky, couldn't get a wicket on that occasion. A single on the next delivery as it was tucked towards the leg side, towards the mid-wicket region for a single, and now it will be Nizakat Khan who will be on strike. So good start for his over. He couldn't get a wicket, but nevertheless 5 runs have been scored for Kowloon Lions. We were talking about a power play score somewhere being around 50-55 at the end of 6 overs and probably not losing too many wickets. It seems like Kowloon Lions are pretty much on course for getting somewhere around that.
Yeah, absolutely. They've never really looked to overhit the ball,
Interesting action.
and it has to be said they've been helped by a generous amount of extras.
Yes, and I think it's the breeze that probably is disturbing the new ball bowlers, where they're not able to account for the extra swing that's taking the ball away towards the leg side, and as a result these extras have been, as you said, a generous amount of extras have been added to the total of Kowloon Lions this time. Next delivery up, let's see whether he adjusts his length or not, has been flicked away nonchalantly for a 6. What a shot that is. He just used his wrist, and that would be a maximum. New ball, probably one more. We'll have to keep account for
I think they might
Nizakat.
get that ball back.
No, we do have the ball, so we are gonna save 650 Hong Kong dollars.
Is it? I see the umpire running out with a new box.
No, it's gone. It has bounced out of the ground.
Oh no.
That was a close one. We almost saved that 83 USD.
You give him a hand, go try and find the ball. Yeah, you might need a hand to turn over.
The mystery continues. The mystery of the lost ball. Is it in the ground? Is it out of the ground? The plot just thickens. Multiple people now involved, trying to find this delivery, trying to find this ball. But for now, we have a new ball out in the middle because we can't wait forever.
Interesting action from Mohammad Wahid. Mohammad Wahid's bowling action. Interesting.
Yeah, at
Remind you of
the,
anybody?
have to look at more closely, but at the
Maybe
moment
Rabada?
it was Nizakat Khan who had that flick of his wrist for another 6. So another maximum for him, and we'll have to see
That's what I'm thinking.
how the bowler is going to come back on this delivery. Straight down the
straight.
ground. Will it be cut off? Yes, it will be. It was fairly close to the cap that's on the ground. Had that hit the cap, that would have been 5 runs penalty.
No.
Oh, there's no penalty here.
Now, for the caps, I believe, and the umpire correct me if I'm wrong later, but what we're taking is a sort of a, because it's a COVID guideline, they cannot hand the caps over. There's also no penalty if it hits it. It's just considered a natural obstruction, and we just play on.
Well, that's an interesting fact for all the viewers because it certainly got us puzzled, and we'll have to see whether there is an instance where it hits the cap in the coming overs. Next delivery, this
Ooh,
time
what a ball.
back of the length,
Nice.
some nip back to the right-handed batsman, hits him at the thigh guard area, and that will be a leg bye for Azaz Khan.
Some serious gas on that delivery, huh?
Wahid's got talent.
I have to say, Mohammad Wahid is built like a fast bowler. He's tall, he's strong, he's got that lean muscle, and like we just saw, he's got a heavy, quick ball as well.
I see. Well, indeed, we'll have to see as to how he finishes this over and whether Nizakat goes for a big shot again or not. This one driven down the ground, but it will be cut off at the fielder who was placed at mid-on. So a single, is that the end of the over? To finish the over, and after 5 overs,
It's 46 for 1. I've got to say, Sahil, it looks like advantage to the Kowloon Lions right now.
Well, absolutely. They won the first game, so they will have their tails up. And at the same time, in the start of the second game, batting first, there is no scoreboard pressure. They can take their time. There is ample amount of overs left in the game. And if you get off to a good start, around 45, 46 runs in the first 5 overs, and you can get at least, say, about 10 more in this one, or even if you get like 6, 8, you're already scoring at a rate of 9 runs in the first 6 overs. After on, it will be interesting to see for the bowling team how they can use the middle overs as well as for the batting team, because these two power hitters will certainly go on, use it as a platform, and will try to get at a rate of 8 or 9 in the middle overs.
I have to say, it seems like a different game when Mohsin Khan is bowling. Here he is. Another dot ball punched straight to short cover.
It's that length that he's bowling. He's using his height. He's bowling that short length, despite the fact that both Nizakat and Izaz are tall. But at the same time, he's using his height and he's making it difficult for them to get that extension of their arms. It's not overpitched, so they can't go straight. It's not too short or slow, so they can't even hook. So it's that length. If you try to go at it, there's a chance of you miscuing it and a wicket for the opposition. So I would say smart batting from Nizakat and Izaz so far without having that commentator's curse. So we'll have to see if it doesn't pan out that way. Shot this time, room. And that will be a boundary for Nizakat Khan. That's exactly what I was saying. The first delivery was at the back of the length, which was, it didn't give him room, but this time too short. He had enough time to go on the back foot and then play that one easily for yet another boundary.
What I liked about that is he didn't try and overhit it. He just tried to find that gap between deep square leg and fine leg. And he pulled it off to perfection, splitting the gap right in the middle.
Yes,
And that is now 50 up for the Kowloon Lions, with 4 balls to go in the power play.
so they've already achieved the target that we were thinking would be a competitive one in the first 6 overs. Let's see how much they can maximize from here on. Down the track he comes, shuffling rather towards the offside, a quick single, and that will help rotate the strike. And with that, Izaz Khan will now be on strike. Talking about Nizakat Khan, he's just continued from where he left off in the first game. You can see that initially in the first couple of deliveries he wasn't timing it, but since then he's middled pretty much everything, and it's important from Kowloon Lions' perspective that he continues to perform in the same way.
That is correct. 5 of his first 10 deliveries. Here's Mohsin Khan. Oh, that was really close. A really tough chance there. Diving forward. Didn't really have that much time to react, but technically that will go down as a drop catch.
Yes, it will go down as a drop catch. The man at short third man. Probably it didn't react too quickly. I would say he was kind of waiting it to come towards him, but it just died down, and as a result, yet another opportunity goes begging. Difficult ones, but then if you're able to take these ones, that's how the match changes. The momentum changes towards the opposition. But so far so good for Kowloon Lions, one would say.
Yes, Harun Arshad there at third man. Here's Mohsin. That's tucked away. Quick single. The man at fine leg, short fine leg, chooses not to throw. And just as well, the batters would have made it in quite easily. So we're almost there. Just one delivery left in the power play. And hey, if you wanted one person on strike for the last delivery of the power play, Shahid Wasif sitting to our right, he knows it. That person would be Nizakat Khan. Here he is, the big cat. Mohsin Khan. He's kept him quiet.
A dot delivery to finish, but you'll have to see that probably in the opposition the most threatening bowler so far has been Mohsin Khan, and you've already negotiated 3 overs from his end and still scored at a rate of in excess of 9. So now is the chance when they will probably look to capitalize in the middle overs when there will be spin. There hasn't been much spin in the first game. We'll have to see whether there's turn or not, and if there's no turn, if it's just flighted, you know what's going to happen.
And interesting, we haven't seen any spin so far from the Islanders. We saw a lot more spin from both teams in the first game, but the circumstances were different, with both teams losing early wickets. So, I think it's the right move from Jamie Atkinson.
He's got Ehsan Khan and Gazanka up his sleeve.
Absolutely. Good point from Nitesh. He does have Ehsan Khan, the evergreen Ehsan Khan, and leg spinner Mohammad Ghazanfar up his sleeve. But don't be surprised, Sahil, if one of them, if not both of them, don't bowl their full quota of 4 overs.
I would be very surprised if they don't bowl their full quota. Both Hong Kong team spinners, I expect them to bowl 8. I fully expect them.
I think in the next over you'll see a change and there will be one of those spinners introduced into the attack. But for now, it is medium pace from Haroon, and the first delivery, is it a wide? Yes, it will be yet another extra. So he's still struggling with his line and length, one would have to say. He gave away too many extras in the first over. It's still that middle stump line that's going more wayward after being released from the hand. It's just going wayward towards the leg side, and as a result, it's free runs for the batting team right now.
It's a contrast from two ends. Mohsin Khan's end, 3 overs, 12 runs, 1 wicket. The Argyle Street end, 3 overs, 40 runs.
That's exactly what I was referring, that despite facing off 3 overs from Mohsin Khan, they are still able to score in excess of about 8.5 runs per over. So they don't have to do anything silly, they just have to play on the merit of the deliveries, and that's exactly what Kowloon Lions skipper Azaz Khan has done. He's taken a single and has given the strike back to Nizakat Khan, who is looking in sublime form so far.
We've got a substitute on the field, Simandeep Singh. We're just trying to get confirmation for who he's...
Yeah, I don't know. We just say the same thing because he's down at short man, but he's been on the pitch. Samandeep? Birdman got it. Birdman. Oh, Nina didn't come.
Ah, so a slight correction. After this delivery... Oh, Haroon Arshad yet to find his radar. I believe that's his 6th wide.
He's on the strip sheet, yeah?
So we just have we had a small clarification to make. It seems that Simandeep Singh is actually in the 11 with Ninad Shah.
No, don't confirm that.
We will get confirmation sometime soon though. Here comes Haroon Arshad. Oh my word, that's a great comeback from Haroon Arshad. That yorked Nizakat Khan, looks like it just missed the leg stump.
Absolutely.
My word, Sahil, that would have been an incredible comeback.
What a peach of a delivery was that for the batsman. Imagine Nizakat Khan, who's already scored a century in the first game, was still beaten all ends up because it was tailing back into the right-handed batsman, and what a yorker that was. Unfortunately for the bowler, fortunately for the batting team, no loss done, but this is the kind of line and length probably would be more expected from the fast pacer. If he can surprise the batsman with that and mix it up with a couple of bouncers, it will be interesting to see this time now. Again, drifting towards the leg side, it will be yet another wide. We'll have to see as to how many extras have been given by the bowling team so far. We're just into the 7th over, and it looks like they will be in double figures at least.
Extras? Yeah, was that another wide?
Yeah.
Let me confirm that. There's 37 runs off the bat, which means 20 of extras.
Oh, I was saying double figures is already 20, so probably more runs from the extras column than the opening batsman. The opening batsman got out for a duck, I think.
So
Right?
Simandeep is playing. Ninad's not playing. Confirmed.
So, but we've seen the team sheet.
Yeah, no. They gave us.
Oh my word. You've got to feel for Haroon at this point. Nobody does this on purpose, of course. It's just one of those days.
And I think that's exactly what will prompt Jamie Atkinson, the skipper of Hong Kong Islanders, to switch his bowlers, and probably there will be spin introduced in the next over because the paces from one end, Mohsin Khan has held one end beautifully. He's just given like 4 runs per over. He's controlled that end, but from the other end, plenty of runs have been leaked. So probably you will see in the next over spin being introduced. We'll have to see before when this over finishes. The next delivery this time, full split of movement, but trying to compensate for the line that was drifting towards the leg, went towards the offside. Azaz Khan was trying to play towards the offside for a quick single, but ended up playing it straight back to the bowler. So a dot delivery, rare dot delivery, one will have to say. It's not that the bowling team hasn't bowled well, but there have been runs on offer in terms of extras.
Confirmed Simandeep is playing and Ninad's not playing.
So how did that change?
So yeah, we're just going to confirm this. Simandeep Singh is in the 11. Ninad Shah is the one sitting out. So a small clarification there. Here comes Haroon Arshad. That's much better. It's been dabbed down to short third man for a single.
smart cricket from Azaz as well, because he knows that the runs have been scored from this over. He's just rotating the strike. He's holding one end up and he's giving Nizakat, who is looking better at the moment, especially after the first game where he scored a century. Give him more the strike, let him free his arms. Meanwhile, he can settle in well, get used to the situation, and then go for the big shots when they are on the offer.
That's a big shot, but it's up in the air. It's a chance for long off. Oh, just goes over long off. It was marginal. Just crept over the rope. But definitely you'd have to say yet another let off for Nizakat Khan. It technically won't go down as a drop because he did not get his hands on it.
Did he not get his hands to it? Let's watch the replay. I think it might have just barely got his fingertips. No.
Nope, not even fingertips on that one. So Nizakat Khan, the cat, he's clearly got 9 lives today. And he doesn't need 9. He's just that good. Here comes Harun Arshad once again. A full toss this time. Work to do for long off, who cuts it off. So just a single there. Frustrating for Harun Arshad. That over. Still a ball left. So that's the end of the over. Couple of wides and a let off.
The last ball 1 run, right?
Yeah. We've spoken about the shorter boundaries at the short straight boundary at the Argyle Street end. Just as it looked like Nizakat Khan had skied one up, a chance for long off, but he couldn't hold on. He couldn't get his fingertips to it. A tough chance, but you've got to take those chances, especially if the batsman is Nizakat Khan.
Well, yet another change in the bowling attack, and as we were talking about spin being introduced now, we were saying that there hasn't been any spin introduced in the first 7 overs. They were probably waiting for the power play overs to finish, and now we will have Ghazanfar Mohammad,
There we go.
and it will be yet another interesting
66.
matchup to see whether Nizakat Khan takes on the spinner straight away or lets him settle a bit. We'll have to see. It's from the further end from our side. The first delivery to Nizakat Khan has been played towards the mid-wicket region for a single at least. We'll have to see whether they come back for a double or not. No, they don't, so it will just be a single. Good start to begin with for the spinner, the leg spinner. It was because if you give it a flight delivery to Nizakat Khan in the form that he is in, he will certainly not think about it twice. Meanwhile, the second delivery from Ghazanfar Mohammad will be faced by Azaz Khan, and we'll have to see as to how this one is. Flighted this time, has been defended, no runs on that occasion. So a good delivery there from Ghazanfar.
About time for spin to come into the attack. I think it was Ehsan Khan down there in the boundary who probably got his fingertips on that ball, just went over the ropes for 6. And now it's looking forward to see Ehsan bowl and Ghazanfar, 2 spinners. Could make a big difference for HK Islanders. Right now, Ghazanfar keeping it very tight. We saw Aftab Hussain, Dan Pascal had the same effect when they came on the bowl. I think despite the appearance of the pitch, something about the spinners, it might just be the quality of spin bowling in Hong Kong. It's very high. These spinners are amongst the best Hong Kong has to offer in terms of just general bowling. But also the pitch, the amount of grass on is a bit deceptive. It just holds it together well, but there's still that inherent slowness that we're used to at Mission Road. And spinners generally thrive on this wicket. They've been doing very well so far again.
One thing that you'll have to see for the spinners so far, for Ghazanfar, if we talk about the 4 deliveries or the 5 deliveries that he has bowled, he's not bowled at one spot. He's tried to alter his line and length. He's tried to play with the mind of the batsman. This time it's been driven down the ground for a single, so it will be 1 more run in Azaz's tally. But they've altered the line and length. So if you see, they're not being predictable. They're altering the pace, they're altering the line and length, and that's exactly how you make the most of situations if there is not a lot of turn to offer. But still, you'll have to see as to how Nizakat Khan faces the last delivery of the over.
I think it's 2 to go. Listen, 2 to go.
No, 1 to go.
1 to go. Okay, I missed the dot. Yeah, 1 to go. Faster and flatter.
and he'll finish up with a dot.
Another
So
dot ball.
just 2 runs coming from that over. A great over from Ghazanfar Mohammed for the Hong Kong Islanders, and this is exactly what the skipper Jamie Atkinson would be expecting from his bowlers, because there have been few runs given in terms of extras for the batting team, and at the same time Nizar Khan looks in phenomenal touch with the shots that he's played. They want to make most of the chances. Another change in bowling attack, so spin from both the ends,
There we go.
and Ehsan Khan, the veteran, the wily veteran one would say, we'll have to see if he can fox one of those batsmen
This is-
out in the middle.
This is a phenomenal matchup. Ezzaz and Nazakat versus Ehsan and Zamfar. This is the kind of matchups we want to see in the Epic Group All-Star Series. The best Hong Kong has to offer against the best Hong Kong has to offer. Ehsan Khan, of course, what more can be said about his bowling that hasn't already been said?
Well, Atkinson, the skipper of Hong Kong Islanders, would be hoping that he gets him a couple of wickets.
Yep.
Then we can talk about that, because if they are to make any pressure on the opposition right now, they would want breakthroughs from one of his spinners at least, if not both.
Yep. You need a wicket here. He's got long on, long off both back as he runs in bowl. Back of the
Shot!
length. Oh, that's not the length. That's not
That's
the
a
length
damage
we
of
want.
$650 for Hong Kong cricket, because the ball has gone out of the ground yet again.
I feel we can get that ball back. It must have gone on the road.
Oh,
Oh,
that
there we
one's
go.
back.
We got it back. We got it back.
So $650 saved on that occasion, but 6 runs added to the tally of Kowloon Lions, because it was short,
Yes.
probably just opening his arms, and Ezzaz Khan on that occasion.
Very good from Ezzaz. He was quick on the back foot. Second, slightly bit short from Ehsan Khan. Cashed in on it, and now Ehsan's under pressure. Second ball. Again, flat and fast. Worked straight to the man and short mid wicket.
Good comeback there from the spinner, and a dot delivery on that occasion. It's the wickets column that would be hurting
Yes.
the Hong Kong Islanders at the
They've had
moment.
a few half chances. Fingertips to the ball landing just short. Oh, he's hit that hard, but
What about a new territories team player? If you are a new territories team player, you would be happy with how the game has been unfolding.
yeah, they'll
at
be
the moment.
hoping Kowloon Lions go 2-0 so they can get a chance of making the finals if they upset the Islanders. Oh,
This
that's-
one up in the
ah,
air.
that
Is it a
could be a
chance?
catch.
Looks like a chance.
Who's on there long off?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is a
he's taken
wicket.
it.
We were talking about a wicket, and Ehsan Khan has struck in his first over itself.
There we
He
go.
started off with a short delivery, he was smashed for a 6, but he has taken the big wicket of
Yeah.
Nazakat Khan, and that's a big blow to Kowloon Lions, because the man in form, the man who scored a century in the morning, has been dismissed. So big breakthrough there for Hong Kong Islanders, and this is probably what they wanted in terms of getting back into the game.
I think that fielder was Umar Mohammed.
Yeah.
He's the one who just got his fingertips on the ball, which went for 6. This time around, straight in his hands. Normally a wicketkeeper, Umar Mohammed, so that's a pretty good catch.
Big breakthrough there for Hong Kong Islanders,
Yeah,
and that's
timely
what
wicket.
timely wicket indeed, and that's what Jamie Atkinson would be hoping from his spin twins, that he can get a
Yes.
couple of more breakthroughs and get them that sniff in the game.
This is exactly what they needed. And now it brings to the crease Zishan Ali. I think they might have crossed, and Zakat could be the batsman facing.
Ezzaz.
Sorry, Ezzaz the batsman facing. That's a big wicket, Zakat Khan. He's batting well. Yeah, it looks like they have crossed. Ezzaz will be facing. Experience of Ehsan Khan. He's won that little battle with Nazakat. Ezzaz Khan still out there though, batting on 28.
This one tossed up, but has been played towards the off region, and that will be yet another single. So the scoreboard now at 76 for 2.
76 for 2.
Kowloon Lions just lost their man in form, Nazakat Khan. He tried to go for yet another big one, but was caught at the mid along off boundary
By Umar Mohammed.
by
Catch.
and the new batsman out in the middle is Ehsan Ayaz, who will be facing
No,
his.
Zishan Ali. Zishan Ali is new.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
It's
Zishan Ali is a new batsman.
Zishan Ali, who will
Wicketkeeper
be
batsman.
facing his first delivery.
Yeah. So a bit of change in the field. He's brought another man into the leg side. So now he's got 3 sweepers and 2 in the circle and a slip. Ehsan Khan. So targeting the stumps, one would think.
In the air and
Ooh,
just falls short.
Just short of the man he had just brought into mid wicket. Seemed to be part of the plan. Just brought that fielder in there and just fallen short of him. Good end to the over. Good over that. Successful one for the Hong Kong Islanders. Kowloon Lions 77 for 2.
Nitish, let me ask you this: that the way Kowloon Lions are batting right now, it's 77 for 2, 1 over go for the midway mark. Probably they would want to be somewhere around 85. then in the last 10 overs, unfortunate that they just lost a wicket, but then you would want to target somewhere around 170, 180.
They'll want exactly 170, 180 like game one. Thing is, if they get somewhere to 150, 160, very chaseable score in these conditions, especially with the experience in the Islanders batting lineup. Jamie Atkinson, Akbar Khan's a very underrated player, has performed quite consistently at this level. Simandeep Singh, as you mentioned, has played for Hong Kong, is a powerful batsman, again, good calm head on his shoulders. And they've got Ehsan Khan, who's scored a lot of runs at club level. So
meanwhile, it's Ghazanfar Mohammad who will begin the second over and the 10th over of the match and starts off with a dot delivery. So right on the money. It's the spin twins that are working for Hong Kong Islanders at the moment.
Yep.
And the expectations for the bowling team would be to curtail the runs and get more wickets. This one again down the ground. Good fielding there yet again by the bowler and the fielder at short cover. As a result, it will be yet another dot ball. So 2 dot deliveries to begin with, and it probably will be adding pressure on the captain who's on the non-striker end, Azaz Khan. He would want his team to score and maximize as many as they can. The third delivery here this time has been defended well by the new batsman, but probably the format will get to you if you have a lot of those defenses.
This is where playing Ghazanfar is so tricky. He's so tall, he's accurate, he has nice subtle variations, changes his pace, changes his flight. How do you get on top of him? And especially on a pitch that has a little bit in it for the spinners.
Absolutely. This time straight down the ground. It will be at least a single. Will it be cut off?
Yeah, it's cut off
yes.
well.
And they are going for another run. This is going to be close. No, they make it safely. So 2 runs on that occasion. So good over so far for the bowling teams, and they've just got a couple of runs. And the batsman with that, Umar Mohammad, would be feeling much better after those defenses. He's got enough with the mark.
Zishan Ali. He's got
Zishan
enough mark,
Ali.
That's what I'm saying. It's a tricky phase of play here for the Kowloon Lions, because you don't want to lose too many wickets to Ghazanfar and Ehsan, but you can't also let them dictate the pace. So they're going to have to figure out how to get the runs flowing while simultaneously protecting their wickets. A tough juggling act. International teams have struggled to do this against Ehsan Khan and Ghazanfar Mohammad.
But that's a good comeback from Hong Kong Islanders, because if you see the last 3 overs, they haven't given too many runs between the 2 spinners between them, and they have picked up the big wicket of Nizakat Khan. And again, it's that rebuilding phase that will probably change the momentum towards the bowling team. We'll have to see if they can get another strike or there is a partnership growing. This one has been played towards the cover region for a single, and that will finish the 10th over. So at halfway mark, it's 80 for 2, somewhat serrated after loss of Nizakat's wicket. But we'll have to see what is in store for the next time.
So Zishan Ali has played domestic cricket in Pakistan before coming to Hong Kong. He got a lot of experience. He has done well in Sunday League cricket at Premier League level in the past. One of the cogs in the extremely destructive Pakistan Association batting lineup. He can hit a long ball, he can explode, he can take apart a bowling attack. He's doing the right thing here. He's getting his eye in. He knows he has to play a long innings. Didn't score much in game 1. Wants to make amends.
Here's Ehsan Khan bowling his second over. We'll have to see as to how that unfolds. Down the track comes Zishan Ali, places towards the deep square leg region for a single, and with that he will rotate the strike and get the captain Azaz Khan back on the strike. So we were talking about his form in the domestic circuit if prior to this series. We'll have to see whether he can get that good form into execution in today's game. Meanwhile, this one has been flighted straight down the ground. It will be a single, and with that the strike will now be back with Zishan Ali. 82 for 2.
How?
He was caught on the boundary by Ehsan's bowling.
Ooh, good ball there from Ehsan Khan. The spinner's really applying the squeeze now. Only 16 runs in the last 3.3 overs.
So if you see Mohsin Khan in the beginning of the innings controlled 3 overs from his end, it was just the 3 pacers that leaked a bit of runs, and the spinners, since they have come into the attack, they have not only controlled the runs but have taken the big wicket of Nizakat Khan as well. So the batting team would want to use this middle overs in order to create that platform, and they want to consolidate, probably get a partnership, run a ball partnership, and then maximize the last 5 to 6 overs.
That's what they'll be looking for. They'll be looking to see off the spinners and cash in on the other bowlers. Whenever they go, oh, great stuff from Ehsan Khan. Fielding. Ehsan Khan doesn't get old. What is age?
Well, you're the stats guy, you're going to find that.
I'm not going to find his age. I don't want to ask. To me, he's always 29.
Ageless.
He's ageless. He's 29
He's
forever.
ageless, and he's executing. It's
Brilliant
his
stuff.
skills that are to be commended as he's executing them to perfection. This
Oh.
one is a chance,
Oh,
Tough
that's
one.
Tough one. That is all the way for 6.
and with that, again, a bit shot on that occasion from Ehsan Khan, and Azaz was quick to pounce on that one. 6 runs for the batting team and the skipper, and with that, it is yet another over that has been completed. Kowloon Lions are 89 for 2 after the end of 11 overs, going at a good healthy run rate of 8 runs per over, but they would still want to get in excess of 175 just like they did in the first game.
The pressure being built by the spinners just released in that one shot by Azaz Khan. 89 for 2, still a healthy run rate. They only got 4 more overs of spin to negotiate. That gives them 6 overs to attack the pace bowlers. We will see Harun Arshad bowl a few overs. He is the designated death over specialist. Has done that role quite a bit in club cricket. Has done that role for Hong Kong as well. We might see Mohsin Khan come back for his 1 over at the death. It'll be interesting to see how many more overs we see from either Ayush or Waheed. 6 overs to go, assuming the spinners bowl out, Gazamfar and Ehsan. So you're looking at 1 from Mohsin, probably another 2 from Harun. Gives you 3 overs you got to find somewhere else.
Yes, we'll have to see that, because at the moment the focus would be to contain the batting team this time. Because down the track comes Zishan Ali, but it will just be a single.
It's 11
as
overs bowled, actually, my bad. It's got to
That's-
5 and 5 overs.
There's protection in the deep on that occasion.
So you got to find 5 overs from someone after the 4 more overs of spin. Gazamfar's going to bowl this out, gives you 3 overs of spin. And gives you,
Because this
5
is
more overs to find.
Gazamfar's third over, right?
Yeah, 2.1, none but 6. Very economical.
So far. Meanwhile, Azaz Khan plays that
very
one
smartly played.
cutely
It's
for
only
a single,
only-
and there will be an overthrow on that occasion, so
no.
that will be yet another extra. It's the extras column that the skipper and probably the Hong Kong
Avoidable
Islanders
runs,
team,
right?
exactly, the
Avoidable
Hong Kong
runs.
Islanders team would be looking at, because the extras column would be hurting them. It's a game of fine margin,
Yeah.
and those extras, probably when the game is a close game, when it comes down to a match where you lose by 5 runs or 10 runs, that's what would hurt them. Down the ground, it's a chance.
Is that a chance? That was hit hard. You get a slow-mo replay of that.
It was a tough chance there for the bowler in terms of a cotton bolt. Wasn't able to grasp that one, and it was hit hard by the skipper, but wasn't able to catch that one. So another chance goes down, one would say.
Is that a catch?
This time, well played. Another dot delivery. So this is the pressure that's building up, and you'll have to see whether the batting team can capitalize in the next over and
Excellent
score
from
runs.
Gazamfar. Excellent from Gazamfar. He does this so often. We've seen him in club cricket as well. Very hard to get him away. Few batsmen have successfully managed to take him on, but more often than not, he gets away with an economical spell, and that again just all they can do is get him away for a single. Excellent stuff from Gazamfar. 2.5 overs for just 9 runs.
And the score with that is 93 for 2 for Kowloon Lions. 1 delivery left to mark the completion of the 12th over. It's still, they are going in about 8 runs per over, less than 8 runs per over, but they would want to capitalize in the remaining 8 overs. This time has been driven towards the cover region. It will be yet another single, and that will complete the 12th over. So it's 94 for 2 after 12, and with 5 overs of spin being done, there's 3 more overs probably from spin.
Yep, and
And-
that's 8 overs. It'll be interesting to see how Jamie uses them. Will he keep going spin from both ends, get these guys bowled out, and come back to the pacer at the end? Or he's going to hold a couple of overs of Ehsan Khan for the back? He's going to go he's having a chat with his young seam bowler. I think he's talking to, is it Waheed he's talking to? No, number 7. Number 7 is Ayush Shukla. He's having a word with Ayush Shukla, so I think Ayush might be coming back for a second spell at some point.
Yes, there will be at least another over from
There we go.
Ayush Shukla.
It is
and yes,
Ayush.
it is being introduced again. So Ehsan Khan has been given a break after 2 overs.
Yes, he's holding those overs back for the end. Ehsan Khan is one of those bowlers who so experienced, it's gotten to the point where he's got to take on the role of bowling these difficult overs. You know,
And we'll have pace back again into the attack. So your problem has been answered. Your
Okay.
query has been answered rather.
it's going to be pace now for a bit.
Pace for now, and then spin will
He
be
bowled a good first
reintroduced
over,
later.
Ayush. And again, I think he bowled in the Premier League T20. HKCC's final Premier League T20 game was his first time bowling at this level. And now he's here for the All-Star Series for the Islanders. Oh, that's an excellent ball.
Down the track from Zishan Ali, he's straight away. He's not even giving a chance for Miss Ayush Shukla to settle in.
He's trying to put the youngster
just-
under pressure.
Yeah, he
It's a
came.
good comeback from Ayush. Yucked him.
He created a couple of chances in the first over
Yeah.
itself, where both Nizakat and Azaz had a lucky escape, I would say, but then was struck for a couple of boundaries also. So he gave away a few runs in the first one. Let's see how he fares in the second over. The second delivery to skipper Azaz. This time shot has
not
been
timed.
pulled. Hasn't been timed really well, but it will certainly be a couple of runs to Azaz's quota of runs and Kowloon Lions' score. With that, Azaz now moves on to
41.
41.
33. And
Missed
this
out in the first innings.
Yeah.
First game when he was dismissed around 14 or 15, I would say.
Yeah, something like that.
So he would definitely want to get at least a few runs under his belt and be ready for the finals,
I know.
if that is to be their fate.
I don't know if this is the first time I've seen Azaz bat number 3 in a T20. I think it might be the first time I've seen him bat at 3. Normally he opens, but more or less the same thing. He's been coming in pretty early. The opener has been dismissed early in both innings so far. And he normally bats this way. He starts a bit slow, he gets his eye in, and then he really explodes towards the end. He's one of those, he's got the capability of exploding towards the end, and it's another wide.
Another wide on that
Another
occasion. The bowler doesn't look too happy. He thinks that probably it nicked.
He lands on the pad or something.
Yeah, it probably hit the pad or the thigh pad. So they were appealing for a wicket, but as a result, it's an extra. Yet another run added in the extras tally, and that's the margin probably that will come back and haunt the Hong Kong Islanders.
I'm going to open up the scorecard. Let's see exactly how many wides have been given so far.
Meanwhile, Ayush Shukla for his next delivery, this time has been played in the air. It's a chance, is it? Oh, it's just gonna fall short of the fielder there, patrolling the boundary, and as a result, it's another run for Azaz Khan. Simrandeep Singh, the fielder on that occasion.
13 wides so far. So that's 2 extra overs they've bowled.
More than 2 extra overs because it's 13, so it's 2.1 already, and we'll have to see probably how many more.
And there's a no ball as well.
So we'll have to see as to how many more deliveries are being provided to the batting team. This time it's been played towards the deep cover region. It will be yet another single, and with that the score for Kowloon Lions will move on to 100
100 up.
for 2. So 100 up in the 13th over for Kowloon Lions at the loss of 2 wickets.
Platform set.
The platform is set. Big hitters are yet to come. They would be upset with the fact that Nizakat Khan was dismissed, but then there is Azaz Khan, the skipper, who's controlling the innings very well, and they would want him to continue till the very end.
Like I said, Azaz is very capable of exploding towards the end of the innings. That's going down to fine leg. And will be... Oh, he's fumbling. Oh, that's 4.
Mohsin
That's
Khan
unlucky.
on that occasion wasn't able to cut off the boundary, and the inside cut, or the
Inside
Chinese
edge.
cut that they say, resulted in 4 more runs for the batting team.
We've seen a couple of these today already across both innings. I mean, the pitch is a good pitch to bat on. So, batsmen are going after it, and anything that goes off the edge, if you don't have protection back there, it's going for 4. It's been a high scoring day. I think tomorrow's games might be a bit lower scoring. Let's hope so. Oh, what a
straight
shot!
down the ground.
What a shot! Great effort there in the deep, but it's going to go for 4.
Back-to-back boundaries, and with that,
Jeez.
it is 50
He hit
for.
that so hard.
Is it? Oh no, that's Zishan Ali.
Is that
Was it?
Azaz 50, right?
Yeah,
Azaz got a 50.
that's 50 for
Azaz
the
Khan.
skipper of Kowloon Lions. Azaz Khan has raised his bat for yet another scintillating innings.
Brilliant.
It was Nizakat Khan in the first innings who went on to score a century, and now in the second game it's Azaz Khan who has scored a half century. So runs coming in plenty for Kowloon Lions, and they would want it to continue in the same format for the
Brilliant.
next 7 overs.
Brilliant. He's batted very well, Azad. Again, he's starting to explode now. He's gotten his eye in. He's putting away the bad balls. Because Zamfar's to bowl his final over.
Are you tired?
Where's Rabu? Good stuff this from Azaz Khan.
And we're gonna have a change in the commentary box. It's me, Jay Dansingani. Gazanfar on target once again. I'm just gonna let my buddy Sahil take a bit of a break here. So close to 7 overs left, you'd have to say. The Kowloon Lions looking good for 180 once again. Oh, a misfield there. Really sloppy. And it's going to cost them an extra 3 runs. That runs away to the backward point boundary. for another 4. Zishan Ali this time, so runs coming from both ends now.
We were just talking about these preventable runs, a few misfields, quite a lot of extras.
Let's not forget those drop catches.
Yeah, half chances and all that going down. So Islanders will not be too pleased with their innings so far. They still got time to come back on this. Still quite a few overs left. How much do you think they can chase, the Islanders? What are they looking to chase? 160, 170, 180?
Well, I said 180 in the last game, and I was so wrong. So I would say anything in the region of 170, and we're gonna get a good game.
180 might be too much.
Once again,
Oh, beautiful.
a play and a miss. Really good figures from the leg spinner today. 2 balls left in his 4-over quota. He's only conceded 14. And Nitesh, I gotta say, Hong Kong's spin stocks run really deep.
Yep.
Here's Gazanfer once again. Flatter just rushes on to Zishan Ali, who can only nudge it away for a single towards deep mid-wicket. Apologies, towards mid-wicket and circle. Like we were saying, for the national team, you've got Ehsan Khan and Aftab Hussain, sure starters.
Gazanfer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all
But
3 of them have played.
the only thing about Gazanfer is, I feel if he played for any other associate nation aside from Hong Kong, he'd be a sure starter for them. So the fact that someone like Gazanfer,
Yeah,
exactly. This
Spin-
internal competition can only be a good thing for the national team.
We've got guys who are not in the national setup at the moment, like Dan Pascoe.
Dan Pascoe,
We've got
yeah.
a youngster like Ahan Trivedi coming up. Akinshit Shah, of course, is part of that spin attack,
yep.
even though he's more of an all-rounder. Spin bowling is pretty strong in Hong Kong at the moment, and you can see why the grounds tend to favor spin. Generally, the pitches tend to favor spin. Today's pitch, though, pretty good for batting.
I'd have to say one thing the national team does need is a quick bowler, especially someone at the death.
Yeah.
You know, against Oman, I feel like I've talked about this so many times on commentary. I think it was 51 runs that Hong Kong leaked in that do-or-die game against Oman. Jatinder Singh,
Those reverse sweeps and reverse pulls.
Naseem Kushi. Ironically, Kushi translates to happiness, but it was pure misery in those last 3 overs against Oman.
Yeah,
Here's
Ayush is
Shukla.
coming in for another over.
Oh,
Four.
whippage. Brilliant.
What a shot.
Piercing the gap between deep mid-wicket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammered it.
Yeah, just coming back to that game against Oman in 2019 at the T20, the men's T20 World Cup global qualifier. It was a do-or-die game, and whoever won that game would have gone through to the T20 World Cup. Hong Kong, they looked so good for the vast majority of that first innings. But 51 runs in the last 3 overs. There we go, this is big. That's all the way. The Argyle Street End spelling danger for
Zishan.
Ayush Shukla.
I'd mentioned that Zishan Ali is one of those cogs in the explosive PACC batting lap, and we're seeing it today. Once he gets going, he's really hard to stop. He's been in decent touch this season. Did not click in the Premier League T20, didn't have a big Premier League T20, but has done well in local club stuff. And has played, of course, good level of cricket in Pakistan, has played first class cricket in Pakistan.
Absolutely.
So he's bringing that experience to the fore here. And Ayush Shukla, a young fast bowler, a lot of talent, but a lot of pressure now. And you see Simandeep Singh giving him some words of advice while the batsmen grab a drink, while the umpires grab another ball, because we've just lost another ball. How many balls have we lost today, Jay?
Ugh, I think this is number 9.
Might be number 9. Do we need to get one of those lost ball counters again?
That's 6,000 HKD. Whew. My word, that's half a month's rent.
Thank you again to the Epic Group for sponsoring this tournament. We really need it, apparently. Oh god, these balls are gonna cost us. Yeah. Great stuff, yeah.
Gotta say, tough gig for Ayush Shukla, bowling
Yes.
another over from this end.
I mean, this is what this tournament is for. We have to see youngsters like him given a challenge at this level. This is only going to aid his development. Bowling at this level against this quality of batsman in this pressure situation will make him a better bowler, and he's really risen up the ranks in his last few games. That sound like side? Yep. Boy, bit of thinking left in the umpire, but he's decided ultimately to give it a wide.
Nitesh, is this too optimistic, or is 200 on for the Kowloon Lions?
200 is on. I was trying to mention Ezaz Khan. He's on 50 of 37. he starts slow. This is not the pace he's going to keep up. He's going to pick up pace. And Zishan Ali is explosive. Zishan Ali has taken his time at the start of this innings. He wants to play long. We've already seen what he can do in these last few balls. They can definitely score 12, 15 and over if they stay in. Look at that. Catch it's the call. Catch it's the call. It's landing in no man's land. And they're going to run back for 2.
A little bit of swagger in that shot.
I know. That's a 50-run partnership up. 35 balls. 22 minutes. Things have changed rapidly there. We saw Ehsan Khan get the wicket off Nizakat. We saw Gazamfar and throw a few quiet overs. Now Zishan and Azaz have picked it back up for the Lions.
22 entertaining minutes, it must be said. Here's Shukla once again. Looks like he's got a little bit of pad on that. Goes down to fine leg for just a single.
Leg bite.
Shukla now just trying to get out of this over. Sometimes that's what T20 cricket is all about.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's such a great way for him to develop his skills, especially his defensive bowling skills. Here he comes once more. 2 balls left.
Oh, it's too short, I guess. Might be given a wide by the square leg umpire. Yes, it is. Wide. Bit too short, that. Good energy, good pace.
The right thinking as well.
Yeah,
a
right
deep
thinking.
fine leg back and a deep square leg.
We saw Hassan Khan use a short ball to great effect in the first game, took 4 wickets. Again, Hassan Khan's one of those bowlers who, like Ayush, started off raw with pace, but kept getting chances at this level, kept playing cricket, and you saw the improvement in his bowling. You saw it today. You saw what a bit of finesse that raw talent can do, and that's what we're hoping for guys like Shukla and Waheed come through these tournaments and get better. Nazrullah Rana, another good young fast bowler who would be in the mix, but currently in Pakistan. But another one who's had a similar sort of rise to the system.
Good piece of running there from Azaz Khan.
Very good running.
The batsman coming back for 2. The calling throughout this innings has been really
The
impressive.
Kowloon Lions have run very well most of the day. We haven't seen any run-outs. We've seen a lot of very good quick running, good 1s and 2s. We've seen them, the running has been very good between the wickets.
You could argue that they've been the only impressive side today.
But that's just because they're winning.
Oh, that's a big
What
shot. Oh, Nitesh, I'm
What a
so
shot.
sorry. That's another
No.
ball.
Do
Do we know any Indians who live in that housing
we know
block?
anybody?
Do we know anybody?
Anybody who lives in the housing block, please.
Surely we have to hit up our list of contacts. We can find one person who lives there. Maybe your
I'm sure-
sister's aunt's
It's probably
mother-in-law.
There's probably one person who lives there who has like 50 balls stocked up in their flat now. They just collect it after every weekend.
That's
This is
correct.
They just got like a little stock hold there. What
Maybe
happens to all those balls? So many balls go out there. Someone must be picking them up. Are they just throwing them away in the trash? Can we go through the dumpsters of that building and get them back? Like, what's happening to those balls?
136.
So many balls we lose down there. Ridiculous. Okay, so
Maybe.
Gazamfar has bowled out. We have to see who's going to come on now. Ehsan Khan looks like it's going to be Ehsan Khan. He's got 2 overs up his sleeve.
We were just trying to
Ooh, 2 overs for Ehsan Khan at the death.
No, but this is what he has to do. Ehsan Khan is the senior bowler in this team, is a senior bowler for Hong Kong. If anyone's going to bowl the difficult overs, it has to be him. Especially in this Islanders lineup. You look at it, he's the senior most player in the squad. Am I not mistaken? Him and Jamie Atkinson, right?
When's the last time you saw Ehsan Khan bowl 2 overs at the death in a T20 game?
Didn't he do it in the Premier League T20? I have a
Did
feeling
he?
he might have done it for Little Side 1 at some point in the Premier League T20. I have to go back and check.
Okay.
But if not there, then at least he's starting it up now. We need to see our senior bowler step up, bowl the hard overs. He's got all the experience he could possibly have. Perfect
Oh,
start.
an inside edge. He is bowling from the better of 2 ends. He does have the protection of a
The
longer
longer
boundary on the leg side especially.
And that's again, his first 2 overs were from this end, while Gazamfar got to bowl from that end.
Very true.
So he got the wicket, got hit for a couple of 6s, but he took on the harder job, and now he's taking on the job of bowling in the back end of the innings against 2 dangerous batsmen.
Oh, doesn't matter if it's a longer boundary if you hit it like that. Azaz Khan.
Ehsan Khan in some form
Mighty,
now.
mighty impressive.
This is what we're talking about, right? Ehsan Khan, once he gets going, really hard to stop.
Yeah.
Really hard to stop.
200 on. We've said it before and we'll say it again. As Azaz Khan moves on to 62 off 40. Another big shot.
Does catch it? It's gonna fall short. Oh, long gone. You get a single. I think Azaz Khan's one point was striking at nearly a run a ball after 30 runs. He's now 63 of 41, so this just shows you the acceleration.
Picking up where he left off in the Premier League T20 back in November.
He was also recently voted as KCC Sportsman of the Year. In great touch, Azaz Khan.
Oh, that's cut away. That could be another boundary. Nope, a good
Well
piece of
fielded.
fielding there.
Gazanfar.
Gazanfar at deep point.
Spinner backing up the spinner.
That's true, the Spinners Club. These two, of course, also play for LSW, along with Aftab Hussain.
That's a strong spin at LSW's.
He sends Azaz Khan back. A
Good
wise decision. Perhaps there was no run there. And Azaz will keep strike for the next over. 4 overs remaining. It's 144 for 2.
So 180 is probably what they're looking at again. Somewhere in the 180 range.
2 set batters at the crease.
200 is doable. 56 in 4 overs.
Yeah.
Doable.
I think 190 minimum. You've got to go at 2 runs a ball in the last 4 overs, especially with 8 wickets in hand. And Azaz playing the way he is.
I think it's Waheed coming on to bowl now, the other young fast bowler. Again, difficult situation to bowl in, but this is how he's going to learn. He's going to improve. He looked very good in his first over. Went for 14, but bowled better again than those figures suggested. A couple of extras here and there. That's an interesting action as well. Get some good pace, a good bit of movement.
Yeah, he doesn't lose any height with his action. It's a very straight action.
Nice high arm. Men's head coach Trent Johnson having a look outside to see if he can spot any of the balls we've lost. I am sincerely concerned we might run out of balls before this tournament gets over. Okay, let's go. Here he comes, Mohammad Waheed. Shot.
Oh, this
Man-
is going into the leg side. Couple of bounces and deep mid wicket. Cleans up.
145.
Nitesh, I have one very simple solution. A way to not lose any balls. The next time Nazakat hits it in the air, try and catch it.
I don't think that's it. She can't catch the ones we're losing. No one can get. If
No,
we
but
can
he's
only-
getting dropped chances and then he gets another chance to hit a maximum. You know, come on. Back me up here, bro.
Take wickets. That's what we're trying to tell the bowlers here. Save us money and get these batsmen out. It's a good batting pattern. Groundsmen have done a great job preparing this wicket for today. It's held 2 games back to back and it's held firm, not too many footmarks as you can see.
I don't know about you, but I think it's getting a little bit slower.
I mean, I think that's just the inherent nature of Mission Road pitch. I don't think it's gotten slower. I think it's just one of those pitches which, despite the grass covering holds it together from deteriorating. It generally is a slow wicket, and that's why the spinners like bowling on this track despite the appearance, because it does come off a little bit slowly. There's a little bit of purchase for them, and which is why again makes someone like Hassan Khan Muhammad in the morning game, his spell look more impressive because he got that pace and carried through it. And even most of the picks today have looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But it is a bit on the slow side. Oh, there's a chance for a wicket here. Fielder running in from deep cover. What a catch!
Oh, that's well taken.
Oh no, he's dropped it. Great effort that. Wonderful effort. Akbar Khan in the deep. Phenomenal effort there. I think he just dropped it as he landed. But really, really good effort. Hard to fault the effort there.
I'm gonna be harsh, Nitesh.
No.
That's the 3rd drop catch for Akbar Khan.
Not for Akbar Khan.
Yes.
Not for him specifically. Is it?
Yep.
Him specifically?
Yep.
Whoa. Really?
One by one.
Whoa. Ouch.
It breaks my heart to drop these truth bombs, Nitesh, but I have a responsibility to the viewers.
150 up for the Kowloon Lions.
Absolutely. 19 deliveries left in this innings. 150, another 50 runs in the next 19
This is
balls.
quietly a pretty good over from Waheed.
Oh yeah, true. One ball left.
Oh,
That's smashed down the ground.
that's
It's
an
hit the
umpire
cap.
killer. Oh, great fielding there, Nadeep. Well done.
It's a good piece of fielding
Great
there.
stuff there, Nadeep.
Right, stop with the cat.
That'll be fine.
If you're wondering why we don't have 5 penalty runs with the ball hitting the cap, it's because of COVID regulations. No one's actually allowed to touch the cap except for
The bowler.
the bowler.
Or the player himself. So they're instructed to leave it on the ground, and if it hits it, it hits it.
A lucky break for the Islanders.
So that great piece of fielding in the deep means that over only goes for 7 runs. So good over from Wahid. Good fielding effort from the Islanders, despite
Absolutely.
I
And
know
the
you-
cap.
I know you claim it the drop catch, but that was a good fielding effort. He got
It
he did
was,
very
it
well.
was.
He covered the ground. He put the dive in. It was a really good effort.
I won't deny that, but technically it was a drop. With a heavy heart, I have to point it out.
Ehsan Khan now to bowl his final over. You were.
Sahil, you're back.
Yes, Jay, I'm back for the carnage, and this one is yet another 6. It's in the ground, so there will be no ball lost on that occasion, but it will be 6 more runs from Azaz's bat. And Ehsan Khan, you can see the wily veteran, this time not able to work his charm around because it was tossed up, was in the zone, and
Good shot.
was a good shot from Azaz's bat, who is now pretty much in his 60s.
75 or 47.
75,
You
yeah.
know,
So he was on 69 when he hit that shot. Goes on to 75 now. Next up, this time again goes for the hoik, but
Oh,
good
yes.
fielding on that occasion at short mid wicket will restrict the batsman from crossing over for a single. Jay, it's now down to the business end. We can see the batsman going for everything, whatever's in their region, or it's not. They're going to go for the slogs. What do you think?
Oh, it's a chance. It's a chance and it's taken.
Yes.
Long on, making no mistake. So finally, the Hong Kong Islanders hold on to a catch. That's the end of Azaz Khan. He walks back to the pavilion for 75.
A good
Really
catch,
well played.
A good catch there by Simandeep Singh, and with that, it's another wicket for the Hong Kong Islanders. Kowloon Lions, probably this is what they will be expecting now because it's the last 2-3 ends, the fag end of the first innings. They would want to maximize, and in a bid to do so, they lost the wicket of the skipper. He goes for a well-made 75, pretty much in the team driver's seat, one would say. They've already won the first game. Pressure onto Hong Kong Islanders now.
Absolutely, but Hong Kong Islanders, they have to keep their head up. They have to hang in there, because at least in my opinion, I feel on paper the Islanders have the strongest batting lineup in this tournament.
And apart from that, there is a lot much to happen in the game. Even if they're not able to win this one, they would want, mathematically, they would want the margin, the loss margin, to be as narrow as possible so that they have an outside chance. Well, it becomes a virtual semi-final when they face up new territories tomorrow. But then new territories would be happy seeing this game right now because they would be thinking that, okay, if Kowloon Lions win this, we still have a chance to make it to the finals.
That's tucked away. Just a single to Zishan Ali.
Jack Meadows.
And it's a promotion, right?
Yeah, he's a hitter. Right? So
Yeah. It's a promotion for left-handed Jack Meadows. He's been in really good form in club cricket. He'll have to hit against the spin though.
But it's a good left-hand, right-hand combination. There were couple of right-handers out in the middle, so there will be more of strike. If there's more of strike rotation, it will be difficult for the bowlers to adjust their line and length. Well, we'll have to see how Meadows faces his first delivery.
Deep square leg and deep mid-wicket in place.
Oh, fielded. Well fielded.
Very useful dot ball there from Ehsan Khan. Dot balls like gold dust at this stage.
Very good last few overs here from Islanders again.
Goes for the hoik again,
Down
but
the
this time down the ground for a single. And with that, the score for Kowloon Lions will be
159.
159.
2 overs to come. So 180 again now, still on. 21 runs in the next overs to get to 180.
I gotta say, a good spell from Ehsan Khan. 2 for 34.
Very good. Hold the hard overs.
Yeah, bowled the tough overs.
But now this is the real tough over number 19. The penultimate over is key. And who will Jamie Atkinson go to? I think he might go to Haroon or Rashad, but it might be Wahid.
Yeah.
He's having a chat with Wahid. Looks like he's going to trust the youngster, get the job done.
Honestly, with the kind of day Harun Arshad has had, I'd say take the day off.
Wow.
You know,
Come back stronger tomorrow.
take the innings off. Oh,
He still has a bat,
Nitesh,
Harun.
you're putting words in my mouth.
Harun still has a bat. Harun still has a role to play in
That
this
is
game.
correct. That is
And he
correct.
might bowl the 20th over. Who's going to bowl the 20th?
I'd go with Ayush.
Mohsin Khan.
Khan, of
Mohsin
Of
Khan
course.
has gone over his sleeve.
How could we forget about Mohsin Khan?
It has to be Mohsin Khan. He has been the pick of the bowlers for the Islanders. He's just given away 12
Mohsin
runs.
Khan's a great new ball bowler. It's a little bit different when the ball's a little bit older.
But you have to go with the form that he is in currently. He's just given away like 4 runs per over in the three overs that he has bowled, and you would want him to finish off the innings on a strong note. Meanwhile, the penultimate over
Shot,
slashes that
fielded
one,
it.
but well fielded there, and it will be yet another dot delivery. So
Harun.
runs in plenty, but then the follow wicket has again resulted in dot delivery. So an old saying in cricket, you get the wickets, you choke the team, right? You can put a tab on the team's scoring, the opposition scoring, and that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment.
Wicket's the key. That's squirted out.
That's squirted away to deep point. Just a single for Jack Metters. He's 2 of 4 deliveries. Zishan Ali at the other end, 32 of 29. But the second half of his innings, he's been a lot quicker. A really good partnership there with Ezaz Khan, setting up the innings, but a good comeback in the last couple of overs from the Hong Kong Islanders.
Indeed, and this time we'll have to see as to what Zishan Ali is going to do. Fight towards the mid-wicket region, and that's going to be yet another 6. So, batsman settled in. He's seeing the ball like a football, and he's smashing it certainly like one. And that's the runs, the runs column that's going to matter is certainly going to be in favor of Kowloon Lions, because these are the runs that are going to hurt the Islanders. This and the extras column.
I think this is hopefully someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure this is true. Zishan Ali is Wahid's coach at PACC.
Interesting.
Zishan Ali is one of the junior cricket coaches at PACC, and Wahid will have come up during his time at the club. So it's coach versus student, almost.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
And
Just the
Zishan
sound.
is giving him a lesson in big hitting.
geez.
Muhammad Wahid disappears for yet another maximum.
Same shot, but hit better.
And I
Just
gotta
the
say,
sound from
Sahil,
that.
I love a good old slog. Just a nice agricultural dirty slog. All the way for 6 twice in 2 balls.
But the sound from the second one was much, much, much sweeter to the ears. It came out from the middle, and the ball is out of the ground yet again. The bowler having a consultation with Ehsan Khan, the experienced campaigner, and probably we haven't seen too many change of paces. Like they haven't seen the slower ones, not the variations. It's just like bowling straight out. Probably probably a slower ball or some variation.
Oh,
This time
that's
again.
3 sixes and
Make
3
that 3 and
deliveries.
3. And the same shot, the one that you love the most, Jay, the agriculture shots towards the cow corner, towards the mid-wicket region for a 6 yet again.
And that time he's lost the ball.
I see you keeping a tab, Nitish.
I have to.
The penalty is what's the damage done now?
Oh,
11?
geez.
11 into 650?
Jeez, too much damage done. We're gonna have to tally this up at the end of the day. High performance team's gonna sit down and count how many balls have we lost, how many balls are left for the next. We've got another 2 T20s and 350 over games. I don't think we can keep going at this rate. Well, 4 days of cricket after this.
And there's a weekend coming in between, probably you'll have to go
Sure.
out shopping.
Order from Australia, get them shipped over ASAP.
We're bound to find 2 or 3 of those balls, right? One of them might hit a...
Zishan brings up his 50 with that 6, by the way.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
amidst
Zishan's
all
got-
that madness, Zishan Ali, who was 32 of 29, is now 50 of 32. Courtesy those 3 consecutive maximums.
200's back on the cards, and now 22 needed in 7 balls.
How quickly things can change, Nitesh.
3 balls, just like that.
Muhammad Wahid. Oh, it's been a tough day at the office.
Oh, he came back there.
Playing a miss there to close things out, so he gets out of that over. It's been an expensive over. 178 for 3, the Kowloon Lions. They scored 177 in the first game. That was enough to beat the New Territories Tigers. We still have 6 deliveries left. For anyone listening on YouTube, Facebook, fan code, hit us in that comment section. What do you think the Kowloon Lions will score in this first innings? Sahil, predictions?
Well, 6 deliveries from Mohsin Khan to be bold.
It's not Mohsin Khan,
They aren't going to Mohsin Khan?
They're going to Haroon Arshad.
the death bowling specialist.
Are you surprised with that move?
I'm not. I predicted it because Haroon's the designated death bowler.
But then
nowadays.
you would want Mohsin Khan to bowl his 4 quota of overs. He's just
That's
given
the thing.
12 runs in 3 overs.
That's a good talking point there.
You
He
would
bowls
want,
so well.
yeah, you would want him to complete his quota of 4
Exactly.
overs.
You want him to just bowl 4 straight with a new ball.
Absolutely.
Why
If
would
you,
you bowl him 3 and then not get that 4th
if
over
you
back
don't
in?
want him at the back end,
Yes.
you bowl him out in the middle overs,
That's a point.
or you bowl him out straight in one go.
That's a good point.
But we'll have to see as to what the thinking is behind this strategy. The last over, let's see how many runs one can get. This one has been driven down the ground for a single, and with that the score moves on to
179.
179. So they've already scored in excess of what they got in the first innings, as Jay pointed out. Probably if they get a couple of big hits, 190 is pretty much on the cards, and I think 190 is something that the batting team would want or aim at. So I would say 190, 191.
Yeah. It'll be a tough chase for the Islanders. Jamie Atkinson's there in their team, so and they've got some batting depth. It's going to be a tough chase.
It's going to be a tough chase, and the problem is going to be the scoreboard pressure, because it's the first game. If they are down and out by a big margin, this one has been slogged yet again in the old-fashioned way that Jay likes the most,
Zishan Ali.
and that's going to be yet another boundary. So it's 183 now. A couple of more boundaries, and that will be 191.
Yeah.
That's the target that I am predicting. What about you? Somewhere about 190s? You would want them to be now?
I'm sensing 195. I can just feel a maximum coming. But I'll tell you what, that deep mid-wicket cow corner region, it's a lot longer towards that side of the boundary from this end. It's probably the longest boundary on this outfield today. So here comes Haroon Arshad. That's
Banging
dug in
shot.
short.
Good bowling.
Tried to go for the pull shot on that occasion, but wasn't able to get any timing or any connection for that matter. And as a result, a dot delivery.
So you're talking about variations. What Haroon does have is variations. He knows how to vary his length. He's got good yorkers. He's got a slower ball up his sleeve. And again, he's the designated death bowling specialist, so he's got a lot of experience in these situations. And again, the Epic Group All-Star Series, the Premier League, they're all designed to give players like him experience in match situations, preparing them up for national duty.
This
So
one
very good
again
bowling,
not
yeah.
coming from the middle of the bat. In fact, it hit the toe. They're going for a double. This is gonna be a run out.
This
Is
the
it?
out.
Yes, it is gonna be a run out. The non-striker on that occasion trying to get Zishan Ali on strike, but Metters in that instance wasn't able to get across, and as a result, it's a wicket, easy wicket one would say for Hong Kong Islanders, but not much damage for Kowloon Lions. They've already scored 184.
Who's the fielder for that?
They just
Wilson?
have
Didn't see, mate. Actually didn't see.
Very
it's
unselfish
Simon
though
Deep,
from
right?
Jack
Down and
Metters,
down.
looking to get
Yes.
Zishan back on strike. And it has to
A
be
team
said, Metters, despite being run out, it won't matter to him.
Such a bad pun. Who's a new batsman in now?
well 2 deliveries left, and Zishan Ali is on the non-striker's end. The new batsman will have to see as to who has
It's a
walked
shirt
out
number
into the
12.
middle.
Dan Pascoe.
Is this Dan the Man? Is it Dan the Man?
Yes, it is.
Dan the
And-
Man Pascoe?
It's a wide delivery, so extra still haunting as a captain. Atkinson has been behind the stumps. He's been kind of stopping those extra deliveries going from 5 wides,
Yeah.
but then you could sense the frustration, right? It's in excess of 24 the extras or 25.
Oh, yeah. Let's just take a look at that.
So that's like a significant amount of runs scored just by extras, and then the amount of overs that they have to bowl because of the wides. Meanwhile, the penultimate delivery of the first innings. Oh, he's cut that one, and that's gonna beat the fielder there. It's gonna be a single, as there is protection there out in the deep. But nevertheless, it's just gonna be one delivery, one big hit. What do you reckon?
Oof, 186 already.
One boundary and 191 would be pretty much on the cards.
Well, Zishan Ali is looking towards that square leg region. I think what we're going to see is another slower ball from Haroon Arshad. And big call. I think Zishan Ali is going to miss-hit it. Maybe a run, maybe 2. Here's Haroon Arshad. Another slower delivery. Work to do for deep square leg. And the
back for 2.
batsman will get back for 2.
Oh, good work by Jamie Atkinson, but
And that's it. The innings ends on 188. Zishan Ali undefeated on 57. Big contribution from Azaz Khan with 75. He shepherded the innings. All in all, it seems like an imposing total for Kowloon Lions, looking for their second victory of the day, which will take them into the final of the Epic Group All-Stars series. Sahil?
Absolutely. If you're in Kowloon Lions or you're a supporter of Kowloon Lions, you would be very happy because pretty much one would say that they have kind of cemented their place in the finals, one would say.
Ooh, too soon. There's still a run chase to come.
There's still
a run chase to come.
There's still a run chase to come, but even if the opposition is able to get those runs, they will have to score it around 18 or the 19th or 20th over. So if you consider it mathematically in terms of the net run rate, they'll still be much higher in comparison to the other game that will unfold. Yes. So even if New Territory Tigers or Hong Kong Islanders win, whichever team wins the next game, they will still have that edge in terms of the net run rate, and they will be happy with the fact because scoring 188 in 18-19 overs seems like a possibility, but then it will at least take those 18-19 overs, right? So they'll have that advantage in terms of the net run rate. So I would feel that they will be probably happy going into this first half,
They should definitely be happy.
they're thinking that they almost have that 1 foot in the finals. They just don't have to do anything silly. They just have to continue with the way they bowl, execute their plans, and then prepare for the game tomorrow afternoon, which is the finals.
I agree with you on that one, Sahil. Let's just run you through the Kowloon Lions batting card like we spoke. Azaz Khan with a belligerent 75. Slow-ish in the first half of his innings before speeding up. Similar story for Zishan Ali, undefeated on 57 off 37, including 3 massive consecutive sixes of Mohammad Waheed in the penultimate over. The final score for the Kowloon Lions, 188 for 4. And with the ball, the Hong Kong Islanders, a lot of extras to begin with. Harun Arshad, 3 overs for 31. A pretty decent last over, it must be said, dragging things back a little bit. Spinners really impressive. Mohammad Ghazanfar, sure, he was aided by the longer boundaries, but 4 overs for 15. Pretty good day at the office for him. Ehsan Khan, 2 for 34, bowling the tough overs, 2 in the death, and 2 more from the Argyle Street end. Mohammad Waheed gets an A for effort, but disappeared for 40 off his 3 overs. Mohsin Khan, surprisingly not getting a 4th over, 1 for 12 from his 3 overs.
We'll be back in 15 minutes.
And we will be back in just over 10 minutes for the second half. And the Hong Kong Islanders will have to chase 189 for their first victory of the tournament. I'm your commentator for the day, one of many, Jay Dansinghani, and I'm joined by Sahil
Agu.
That's right. If you like what you've heard so far, you can always follow me on Twitter at JCricketDude, and please follow us on social media at CricketHK. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to be the first notified anytime we have a new video including live action. See you in 10 minutes.
Well, actually, I'm the all control is sports. I'm the secretary of sports. So I invite to all, and you now see we have the 25 guys every day come, and I also have the adult also come. Total is 40 people every Sunday come.
Okay, so with the Bangladesh community, Bangladesh Association in Hong Kong, I was pretty surprised to know that most of the Bangladeshi in Hong Kong, they didn't know that cricket exists in Hong Kong. So And they were very happy to see this program approaching to them, and then they were very excited because they have been playing cricket in their hometown, but they could not play in Hong Kong for a long time.
Actually, came from Bangladesh. I played in Dhaka League. It's 10 years. Then I came to in Hong Kong and played 5 years in Hong Kong.
I'm an all-rounder and I bowl fast bowling. I want to play for the Hong Kong team.
That means they like cricket. They want to cricket. They want to play cricket. They want to learn cricket. So I need to give some opportunity. And this is the almost very beautiful ground is here. Before not like that. Even this morning 6 o'clock guys called to me. I want to go and play. I want to learn something cricket. So we are very much happy for that.
Our community, the Hong Kong Anjumani Mohammadi Association, we are Dawoodi Boras, and here I am after more than 60 years back on the cricket field, and I'm really excited about it.
For us as a community, I had never played with any of my community friends, and they had also no exposure to cricket, from where to play and how to get into the teams. So with this initiative, definitely it has helped our community to bond, come along together and play cricket together.
We've been playing cricket as schoolboys, and it all started with the kids coming out to play. And it's a perfect way to spend the Sunday morning. We, as dads, all decided that we're going to pretend we're 20 years younger and come out and have a great morning of fun.
I've played this sport before in the garden by our house, but I haven't actually had proper lessons for it. I'm enjoying playing cricket a lot because I can work on different skills.
We had one very respected elderly, you won't believe it, she's 90 plus, and she was here today just to see their community members playing. It's amazing to see how passionate they are about cricket and how passionate about their community.
Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to the Cricket Association and also to the Jockey Club for sponsoring these very fun events.
Sri Lankan Cricket Club was founded in 2006. This program is a great program that should be continued, and we hope to see that it can be expanded to a different level. This program helped us in a big way for the reason that it gave us some facilities that we did not have, gave us that extra hand to bring all these boys together, the girls together.
Yes, of course, when I came to Hong Kong, I missed my cricket. But I have opportunity when I came here. I saw that my friend introduced me cricket club. Then after I came and I joined this chapter. So I like to play cricket here because we have nice people and nice staff. Everything very good. Of course, I want to say thank you for your program.
So when we first started this program, the Hong Kong Jockey Club Community Sustainability Fund, Cricket for All, with the Sri Lankan Cricket Club, We didn't had much participant in the beginning, but it's amazing to see how the number of people are growing every week for every cricket sessions. So far we are doing a youth center, men's center as well as women's center for Sri Lankan Cricket Club, and very excited to let you know that they are also planning to bring in a junior center.
I play the youth cricket club in Sri Lanka. First time I came here, I was also very excited, but my coach is very good. He talked to us nicely, so I like to continue to play here.
The Sri Lankan lady is no different to any other South Asian countries. They are pretty happy to play this game, and all this time they had the opportunity to watch. But now with this program, they have the ability to take part in the game and to learn the game. So I think it's a great achievement.
The Epic Group All-Stars Series 2021. We are going behind the scenes to talk to General Manager of High Performance Mark Farmer to find out more about the concept behind the Epic Group All-Stars Series.
The concept was dreamt up over a couple of meetings where we realised that there'd be a big absence of international cricket for quite some time, and we wanted to create a platform for Hong Kong's best cricketers to go out and express their skills and be challenged. We're hoping that by creating 3 brand new teams, creating international tournament conditions, that we're going to be able to provide a really good showcase of Hong Kong's best domestic cricketers.
Hello, hope you enjoyed those videos in the innings break. We've had some videos being played of our community cricket programs that we run across Hong Kong. A lot of programs being run at the moment to help develop grassroots cricket across the various communities in Hong Kong, backed of course by the Hong Kong Jockey Club Charitable Trust. We are now coming live for the second innings. I'll leave you with Sahil Magoo, and with him a special guest, none other than Hong Kong's head coach Trent Johnston.
Thank you, Nitish, for the warm introduction. And as he said, we have a very special guest amongst us. It's Mr. Trent Johnston. Very good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you? You well?
All good. How's the game so far for your liking? And what do you think will unfold in the second innings that's just about to start?
Well, it's been a pretty impressive total that the Lions have put forward, led by skipper Azaz Khan, and backed up there at the back end by Zishan Ali. Obviously, you guys mentioned it through commentary that he started reasonably slowly, but certainly picked up at the back end and finished the innings with, 3 sixes there at the second last over to take that momentum into the bowling innings.
As the head coach of Hong Kong cricket team, is it a good problem to have when you have so much talent on show and there are so many players who are presenting their skills to the best of their qualities, but when you have to shortlist them, when you have to select them, is it a good problem to have?
Well, you can never have enough talent, so to have 36 cricketers here and over the next finish off the T20s tomorrow and then playing the 50 over the following week, cutting it back to 2 teams. It's great to have that sort of quality of player here on show. The boys have been starved of cricket due to COVID pandemic, but they certainly produced the goods here today. And even the first game today, where contracted player Nazakat Khan hit 100, Hassan Khan took 4 for and then come out and got 30 odd off a dozen balls. For me, that's a very pleasing thing to see the contracted players coming out here and dominating this Epic Group All-Star Series from day one.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, it's the first delivery that will be bowled. It's been tucked away for a single legal delivery because the previous one was a wide. All the viewers who have tuned in and they haven't gone to the coach's corner before, we have Mr. Trent Johnson with us, who predicted a lot of youngsters to watch out for. How do you feel about that prediction now? You feel that they certainly lived up to the expectation, or there's still something to look forward to in the coming games?
Well, I think we saw the way Ahan Trivedi bowled in the first game, 3 overs, unlucky not to bowl his fourth. The way he came in and bowled and really slowed down the scoring. And then we've got Gandeep Sandhu here, who's got his chance to play in this game, big, tall, fast bowler. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table. And unfortunately, we never saw Bilal Akhtar this morning. He was 12th man. But he'll be playing in the first game tomorrow, so I'm excited to see how we can rip it on this very good surface.
Indeed. And when we talk about, you saying that contracted players like Nizakat Khan and Hassan Ali have performed very well, there were youngsters also who have showcased their talent. So meanwhile, this one has been played for yet another single. Nizakat Khan, the fielder on that occasion. In terms of the teams competing, probably Kowloon Lions have a slighter advantage how they fared in the first game with a victory there, and then they have their backs, they have their tails up in this one. What do you think will happen when there is a virtual semi-final between, probably if they are to win this one as well, between New Territory Tigers and Hong Kong Islanders?
Well, I think that's probably the ideal setup. We certainly didn't want a dead rubber tomorrow morning. If Kowloon were to go on and win this game and be 2-0, well then tomorrow is a semi-final, and I think that's perfect the way that's set up. But either way, the Hong Kong Islanders have got a formidable batting lineup. You just go through the list of players over there with Jamie Atkinson, Simandeep Singh, Arshad Haroon. You've got Wakas Khan out there batting at the moment, so they've got some good depth and some good lower order hitters too in Ahsan Khan. So this target's very much achievable for the Islanders.
Yes, and in between that was a boundary from Muhammad's bat, and this one shot again, tried to white that one, but it's just gonna be a single. As you said, that the game is still on, and pretty much cricket is an unpredictable game. And we'll go back to the memories that you've had during your playing days. You've pulled off a lot of heists, if one were to say. You have rescued your team when you're playing for Ireland. So that experience which you get from that, how do the emerging players, when you talk about youngsters, they come up to consultations in terms of what you have to bring to the table? How is that coming from playing on the field and then sitting out? Which one is more easier, or is there anything called easy in cricket?
Well, I think cricket's a very easy game. I think it's turned into a very difficult one by the way people go about their business. But from a bowling point of view, the top of off stump. From a batting point of view, you watch the ball onto your bat. I think that we can really simplify the game, and I think working with the guys over the last 18 months, I've tried to simplify the way we go about our things. I think one thing that stood out today is that our fielding hasn't been that great, and I think from an emerging nation such as Hong Kong, or a nation trying to get back up into ODI status, our fielding needs to be a lot better than what's been on display today. So I have a very big emphasis on that, and a very big emphasis on our fitness. And I think that if you see the guys getting in and the way they are and how strong they look and that sort of thing, I think the fitness is certainly ticking a box. I think our fielding needs to certainly have a little bit more work in that regard.
Well, that's certainly one thing that the coach here of Hong Kong cricket team wants to work hard on. What are the positives that have impressed you? The things that have gone right in the last 18 months, the facts that you think that, okay, these are the boxes that are ticked for now, I can probably shelve them for later.
As we see a full toss there being dispatched through point for 4. Listen, I think there's some real positive stuff. The way that the senior guys have come along and started to dominate club cricket. We've been starved of international cricket for 12 months now. So the way that they're dominating club cricket, I think, is very important. It's to show the younger guys coming through that this is what an international cricketer does, how he goes about creating an innings, how he goes about bowling at the death, what he does in the field, what he does off the field. So I think they're the sort of things that I've sort of spoken to the guys about, especially the last 12 months. And some good fielding there from Dan Pascoe at backward point, stops a single. So yeah, I've given a lot of guys an opportunity. So it's about those guys now coming in and taking that opportunity. And For me, it doesn't worry me if you play 200 games or you haven't played a game. If you can add value to the team and you can bring something that's positive to the environment that we've tried to create, then you're certainly more than welcome to get in and have a go.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, he goes for a hoik on that occasion, but is completely beaten. So a good comeback there by the bowler on that one. And we were talking about how Hong Kong cricket has changed in the last 18 months. It's grown from strength to strength. Probably not too many games because of the pandemic, so there wasn't a lot of action on the field, but certainly off the field there were a lot of meetings, team planning going on, strategies being built. So now putting them into execution, a tournament like this one, like the Epic Group All-Star Series, how good it is to have a tournament like this.
As that's sliced down to third man, and the Islanders have lost their first wicket with a good catch from Ahan Trivedi down at third man off the bowling of Nunjay Rayo. So that's Umar Muhammad, who has to depart.
That's he goes for 10.
10.
So that's the first wicket for Hong Kong Islanders that has fallen in the form of Muhammad Umar, who's gone for 10. And with that, Hong Kong Islanders are now 14 for 1. Getting back to how, as I said, like how it is to execute those plannings now. There has been a lot of time to make those strategies, make those plannings, and then when you come to execute those plannings, how important is a tournament like the Epic Group All-Star Series that gives you the chance to think ahead and lay the foundation ahead in the coming
It's
months.
huge, because I think that the main thing that I've tried to change around the environment is for the players to think positively as opposed to those negative thoughts. I don't want to get out. Well, I want to flip that around and say, how am I going to score runs? I'm trying to survive. Well, no, I want to hit boundaries. I'm worried about bowling a no ball. No, well, your concentration is to bowl at the top of off stump. How am I going to get this batsman out? In the field, you want the ball to come to you all the time. So, and looking around here, you can see where the guys that I've spoken to about that have put that into play, especially in the first couple of games. So that's pretty exciting for me.
Meanwhile, this one, too much bounce on that occasion, was completely beaten Waqas Khan, but no damage done, no further damage done to Hong Kong Islanders, who've already lost 1 wicket and they are 14 for 1 at the moment. Mr. Trent, getting back to the fact that how you have executed your plans as we discussed just now. Now with the tournaments coming up ahead, now there is Asia Cup coming up ahead, there are more series coming up. So when you play inside it's different, but when you play the teams in Asia, when you start talking about the big tournaments and the big matches, the wins, is that a big challenge and pressure as a coach? Because it's the wins at the end of the day that matters. Do you treat it like that? Or for you it's getting the plans right and the result, the outcome doesn't matter much?
Yeah, well, for me, I can't go out and bowl the ball or hit the ball or take the catch. It's about me planning. It's about me, sitting in and devising a game plan for the guys, and it's about the guys going out there and believing themselves and going out there and executing those plans. And if our execution isn't right on that particular day, well, then we have to go back to the nets and work harder. Go back to the centre wicket practice and work harder. But it's about us going out there and having that belief and playing positive cricket. That's what I want, and that's the message that I've brought over here for the last 18 months, and that'll continue. And I want people in my team that can do that and can execute that. And like you said, you're going to have to execute under pressure, and it's about being able to do that. So, listening to you guys in the first innings talking about someone like Ayush Shukla, how he's come in, he's only going to learn from that experience, and playing the best players, regardless if they've played for Hong Kong or they play for Hong Kong or they're coming in to be eligible to play for Hong Kong. You look around here in the 3 teams, we're probably missing 2 or 3 of the best players due to work commitments. You've got the best of what you see here in Hong Kong. So to get out there and perform against the best and to play against the best is what you want to try and do in anything in life, sport or business or anything.
Well, that's the secret mantra. If any one of you out there is wondering as to how to succeed, you just have to give your best. That's exactly what Mr. Johnson did during his playing days, and now when he is in the coach's corner, when he is leading the team from the dugout, that's exactly the message that has been sent out to the players, to go out, express themselves, feel at the top of the world, believe in themselves, and then when the opportunity comes, grab it with both hands.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a short wide one there for Charlie Wallace, and Waqas Khan has leant back and punched that through point for a couple. So it's a fairly solid start here from the Islanders.
Well, indeed, and they are at the moment 22 for 1. It's just the 1 wicket that probably would be playing on the back of their minds, that They lost early wicket. They would want to consolidate, especially Jamie Atkinson. If he gets going, it's going to be a threatening proposition for the opposition team, and they would want from their perspective, because they will be, this is their first game, so they will get some practice, and then they will be coming up for that virtual semi-final if this game ends up being awarded to Kowloon Lions. This time tug-in shot again by Charlie Wallace, and has been played smartly for yet another boundary towards the fine leg region, and that will certainly help boost the confidence of Pokasan.
Absolutely. So I've instructed both teams before the game started today that they needed to hit sixes toward the softball end, because at the moment my budget is being absolutely smashed by our inability to go and retrieve the dozen balls that have been hit over the commentators' tent at the moment. So anyone that does hit a six moving forward in the competition will be fined 600 Hong Kong dollars. So I haven't spoken to Farms about that, but I think he'd be quite happy with that return.
Yes, that's one thing that we have been looking out very keenly since morning. All the commentators have been talking about the balls being lost and a damage of 650 Hong Kong dollars being incurred to Hong Kong cricket. And as you heard from the coach, he's keeping a tab, and special instructions have already been given out.
They've been given, but they weren't listened to in the first innings, so that's okay. But in all seriousness, it's great to see the boys believing in themselves and getting out there and hitting the ball hard and hitting it well.
This one, a good back of the length delivery from Charlie Wallace. He picked up 3 wickets in the first game, so he certainly will be motivated to get back again on the field and get a couple of more wickets.
Yeah, I think he bowled very well in the first game. I think he read the pitch very well, assessed the conditions, bowled straight and back of a length, and asked questions of the batters. Took a wicket in his first 3 overs, and basically, when you take out Bubba Hyatt and you take out Kinchit Shah from any sort of team, I think you go a long way to winning the game. So, as a new ball bowler, that's what he's got to try and do. He's probably been a little bit leg side this over, and Wakas Khan, quality batsman, has made him pay for that. But Charlie was very impressive in the first game, absolutely.
Indeed. And you being a fast bowler yourself, how much does it play on the mind of a fast bowler? Like when you hit for a boundary, when you hit struck for a 6 or a 4, do you come up with the change of variations? How do you alter your liner length? It's more like mind. Is it like mind games? You've been on that side. How do you try to get the better on the batsman? Do you play mind games? Do you change your liner length? Because it's one delivery that it takes for a batsman to falter and a wicket for the bowler.
Yeah, so I suppose if you talk about fast bowler, so that would have probably been 25 years ago, so that was a long time. If you talk about sort of medium slow, which is towards the back end of my career, I could probably answer the question. So, but I think it's about conditions, it's about the batsman, it's about your execution. I don't think, if it's a poor delivery, I think you've just got to erase that from your mind and get back to your mark and, realise that it was a poor delivery, and I've got away from the plans that we've set as an individual and a team, and you've got to get back on that horse and try and execute that again. I think too many times you'll see guys setting fields for bad bowling. It's one thing I talk about to our guys. We've got to bowl our best ball every ball. Know where our field's going to be set, and if we don't execute that, don't go chasing the ball around the park. I think be aware of the conditions, who you're bowling to. What's the situation of the game? Are you chasing wickets? Are you defending runs? So there's a lot of things you've got to throw up, and that's how playing games like this and playing quality players on a regular basis only helps the young guys. As we see Dan Pascoe being brought into the attack for the first time this game, and he had a pretty good game last game, and has been fairly dominant in club cricket of recent years. And Dan will become eligible to play for Hong Kong in our next series, so which is very exciting to get a quality player like that knows his game, brings a lot of energy in the field, very handy with the bat as we saw in the first game as well, just giving support to Nazaket as he was continuing his merry way to a strike rate of 200, and to have that experience and knowledge and bring that into this young group is invaluable.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, this is the 3rd degree, wrapped on the pads. Appeal from the fielders close in, but it was going down the leg, so he survived on that occasion. Jamie Atkinson yet to get off the mark. He's played 3 deliveries so far. Islanders at the moment 28 for 1 in 3.3 overs. So if you were to predict in the first 6 overs the approach from the batsman from here on, chasing a mammoth target in the sense of 180 excess, do they go all out? Oh, this one's close call again, but just falls short. Getting back to what I was saying, do they go all guns blazing in the first 6 overs, or they take their time, get used to the pitch, and then maybe in the middle overs plan their innings out?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think they can win the game in the first 6 overs. They can certainly lose it. You know, if they're 3 or 4 down in the first 6, chasing this total too hard, well, the game's done. So they've started very well. They might like to be, a couple more runs, but they can't afford to lose these 2 guys and be all of a sudden run rates up to 10, 11 with 6, 7 and 8 coming in to try and chase that total. So I think laying a good foundation, sticking sort of around 7 and 8 and over for the first 6. If you get that big over, you've got to cash in and take it. But if that's not on offer, it's not a matter of you being silly and reckless. Always show positive intent, but you sort of don't want to be reckless and throw your wicket away.
Absolutely, and meanwhile that's another dot delivery. Change in tactics also, if you were to see from Kowloon Lions in comparison to Hong Kong Islanders. They introduced spin in the 7th, or after the 7th over. It was the 8th over when spin was introduced. But here from Kowloon Lions, probably they have played a game before, so they know how the pitch is going to behave, so they introduced spin fairly early.
Yeah, well, I think if you have a look, spin is a very strong suit in the Kowloon Lions with Dan Pascoe and young Ahan, and you've got Nazaka, who comes in and bowls some pretty handy leg spinners as well. So Azaz is trained on these wickets. We've played on these wickets, so he knows how what the ball and what to bowl and what to bowl to certain batters. He's certainly coming along from a captain's point of view, and he's certainly showing that in the first game with the way he's made his bowling changes, his field placements, the way he's got his team set up from a batting point of view. So for me as a coach and as my national captain going out there and doing what he's doing, it's very pleasing.
Yes, different tactics here being used by both the teams. Meanwhile, it's Hong Kong Islanders who are chasing 189, and at the moment they are 29 for 1 after 4 overs. Dhananjay Rao will be commencing with his second over. He gave away 5 runs. The first delivery has been cut away by Atkinson, but there will be no runs on that occasion. When you talk about a format like T20 and then in the coming few days you change the format to 50 overs, how difficult is it like for a player to adjust in mentality? Because T20 you have to go all guns blazing in terms of like 1 over can change the momentum of the game. Meanwhile, short delivery, it's a chance and has been grabbed very well by the fielder there out in the deep. Short delivery there from Dhananjay Rao and a big wicket of Jamie Atkinson being departed there on that occasion, and that's a big blow for Hong Kong Islanders. Will certainly dent their chances of making merry in the first 6 overs. What do you feel about the shots? Probably didn't come off from the middle of the bat.
Yeah, I think that he's probably just done with a lack of pace there, I reckon. Jamie's been hitting the ball superbly well in club cricket, and fortunate enough to throw him a few balls on a Wednesday afternoon at KCC, and I'm sort of hopping and dancing around down the back of the other end of the net to get out of the way of the ball. So he's in very, very good form, and as we see the number 4 batsman Simrandeep Singh come in, and he's also been hitting the ball extremely well. So that's obviously a setback for them to lose their skipper and a Hong Kong player in Jamie Atkinson, but to see another one walk out who's in excellent form, excellent club form. Still a long way to go for the Lions if they're going to secure this victory.
2 wickets now for Dhananjay Rao. In the second over itself, he picked up another wicket, the big wicket of the captain of Hong Kong Islanders, Jamie Atkinson. And with that, the new man in the middle is Simrandeep Singh, as pointed out by Mr. Johnson. Getting back to the point, like as a player out there, how do you switch to the games? Like you play back-to-back games, especially if you talk about Kowloon Lions, they had to play 2 back-to-back games today. Yeah. Does this play on your mind, or are you just happy to be out in the middle? How do you train yourself? Like had they not won the first game, probably they're happy to be out in the middle if they won the first game, but if you don't win the first game and then you have to go out back in the middle, how do you talk about mental training as well to players off the field, like how they have to keep yourself motivated?
Well, I think if they did lose their first game, well, there's no better thing to do than get straight back on the horse and get back out there and play again. If they lost their first game, they knew they would have had to have won this game to come through to the final. So, but they haven't done that, and their confidence is sky high, and they've come out here and put a very, very good total on the board and taken early wickets in the power play. So now the Islanders are in a bit of a rebuilding phase. Obviously, they still have Lucas out there, who's been playing very well and hasn't been sort of going out and smashing the ball. He's just been playing good cricket shots, which I think is very important. And I think the way that they've set their team up, Lucas will probably look to bat 20 overs, and everyone else will bat around him.
Well, indeed, this is Dhananjay Rao's 5th delivery that will be pulled outside off stump, and Simandeep Singh lets that one go. Another dot delivery. And with that, the score for Hong Kong Islanders remains on 29 for 2. We are probably headed towards a wicket maiden, so that happens. That's another interesting fact presented by Nitish. So good in the first game itself, like he bowled really well then as well, but wasn't able to pick up too many wickets because Charlie Wallace did pick up 3 wickets this one. Close call there, and it is a wicket maiden. So your prediction coming right there. And 29 for 2 after the end of 5, so the run rate has fallen down to about 6 runs per over, less than 6 runs per over. And when you're chasing somewhere around 190, what's the pep message that probably would be sent out to the team?
Well, I think they need to be careful. Dan Pascoe is obviously the danger bowler, so he's still got 3 overs left. So you don't want to sort of lose wickets to him, but you've probably still got to look to take him for 6 runs and over. And then you've got to target this bottom end where the quick bowlers are going to be coming. You've got to have a look to see who's got to come left to bowl. So you have a Hahn who's got to bowl 4. You have Gandeep who's still got to bowl overs. So you've got bowlers there that you could potentially look to target. But at the moment, with the run rate sort of heading skywards, they've got to get moving, but they've also got to be careful that they don't lose a wicket.
Good catch, lad.
Well, we were saying what not to do, but it's the exact opposite that has happened, and another wicket has fallen, this time in the form of the batsman who was set. Waqas Khan has departed, and it's another wicket for Kowloon Lions. They are inching closer towards the final. It's 29 for 3. Good catch there by Dhananjay Rao, and Danny Pascal taking his first wicket of this game. Was rightly predicted by Mr. Johnson that don't fall a prey to his bowling, but maybe they need to hear you out louder and better.
Probably, but probably Dan's not too happy with that ball. It probably was pulled down slightly, and Wacker's just offered it straight to point. But now we've got Haroon coming in, who played very, very well last Sunday for HKCC against KCC. Coming at a difficult time. One stage HKCC were 4 for 20, and Haroon posted a total and gave his side an opportunity. So now he gets another chance to do that in a difficult stage for his team, to come in now and rebuild with Simandeep, and hopefully they can get somewhere close to sort of bringing that average that runs per over down below sort of the 10, trying to get that back into sort of single figures as quick as they possibly can. So having said that, they've also got to be careful to not lose their wicket.
Talking about Haroon Arshad, he didn't have that great a day with the ball. He bowled a lot of extras, was probably trying to get the ball nipped back in, but because of the breeze, down the track straight away, a dot delivery though. But he didn't fare that well with the ball, so he would want to make amends with the bat, and probably that as a factor. How much does that play, that when you have conceded runs with ball, or like haven't performed in one department, how eager would you be to out and perform in the second one?
Well, in the first 2 balls he's come out, he showed his intent, which is nice. Obviously being an all-rounder, it gives you that opportunity to, if something doesn't go well from a bowling point of view, make up with the batting, or vice versa. So he's got the opportunity now to do that. He showed the intent to come out there and hit down the track first ball, and then a nice cover drive, which the skipper decided to play a bit of football and knee it off to deep mid off and give one away. So that's -1 for the skipper.
Yes, everything has been closely being observed. Do you keep notes as well? Do you make notes,
There's
or
notes.
is like mental notes?
No, there's notes. There's also a note that Haroon turned blind on his first run. Something that will be brought up once again. But a lot of these guys, they would go out there and maybe not perform well in the first half of the game. And I think they have the capacity to remove that from their thought process and go out and go out and play with a clear mind.
So everyone watching, everything has been minutely observed. This one has been played well towards the mid-on region. Misfielding once again. We were talking about everything being minutely observed, and this one again will go in the notes, and probably -1 again for the fielder on that occasion, but a couple of runs for the batting team, and with that the score moves on to 33 for 3. This is the last delivery before the power play overs come to an end, so not that great a start for Hong Kong Islanders because they've lost 3 wickets as well. Let's see how the power play over finishes. Oh, tried to cut that one, but no bat on that occasion. So 6 overs gone, it's 33 for 3, not even going at 6 runs per over, chasing 189. It's a mammoth task, as we all know. But before we get on to the next stage, we would thank Mr. Johnson for his valuable comments. Trent for his valuable comments and the feedback. And we hope that we get to see the stage where there is +1 for all the players playing out there, and less of -1s.
Absolutely. I would love that, mate. And thank you very much for having me. See you soon.
We'll be joined now by Jay, our seasonal commentator who has all the insights about what's happening on the middle and in the middle, my bad. And at the same time, we're talking about chasing 189. Not a good start for Hong Kong Islanders perspective. 33 for 3, power play overs gone, 14 overs left, chasing in excess of 150 now. Not even wickets in hand, so looking bleak, isn't it?
Absolutely. I don't see much of a way back for the Islanders. I have to say though, I'm quite excited to see Harun Arshad come in so early. It's obviously concerning for the Islanders in terms of their chances of victory, but we spoke about this earlier. This tournament is supposed to test your skills as a cricketer and prepare you for international duty, whether the men's team or the women's team. One day travel will resume again. We'll get back to international cricket, and we want our players as ready as possible. So it's nice to see Harun Arshad there, nice and early, not a role he typically plays for the national team.
But as pointed out by Trent, that he did that for his club team last week, and he kind of rescued them from the situation that they were in, and they would probably hope that he could do the same, because right now it isn't looking that great. Down the track comes Arshad for a single. The hoik towards the mid deep square leg region resulted only in a run, and with that Dhananjay Rao, he will be very happy with his bowling performance so far. He's picked up 2 wickets, he's been economical, and that's where we get back to the first innings where too many extras were conceded. Mohsin Khan held one end, but the other end conceded 41 runs from 3 overs. So that's something that we will be talking more about. This one, short delivery again, a chance. No, the fielder was certainly able to stop the boundary, didn't go for the catch there. He tried to restrict the boundary and was able to do so, so it will be another single. We were talking about the extras conceded in the first 6 overs when Kowloon Lions were batting, and the runs that were given on offering from one end while Mohsin Khan controlled the other end. So do you think that is where the difference could be as of now in the first 6 overs?
I will say just a little bit of luck for, as we watch this delivery. Oh, Mohsin Khan. Apologies, Dhananjay Rao, DJ Rao. Yet another left arm quick impressing in this game. But yeah, as I was saying, just a little bit of luck, or misfortune rather, for the Hong Kong Islanders. I think it was just really, really windy at the start of that first innings when Harun Arshad had that new ball. So, obviously, I mean, no excuse for the number of wides he bowled, but it can happen to anyone. But yes, you're correct. The difference in this innings has been pressure from both ends. And what's impressed me about DJ Rao is that he's bowling from the Argyle Street end, and we haven't seen him come in for any sort of serious punishment.
Indeed.
And great signs for the national team with 2 left-armers performing so well today.
Yes. Meanwhile, the last delivery of the third over, that was slow one, and that's been struck down the ground for a 6th. Commentator's curse yet again coming to the fray, as this one was a variation used from Dhananjay Rao, but this one was well timed by Simandeep Singh, and as a result it will be a 6 to finish the over. 14 runs conceded by Dhananjay Rao in his 3 overs so far. He's picked up 2 wickets, and Hong Kong Islanders after 7 are 43 for 3. So they are now after 7 overs in excess of 6 runs per over, but what they are chasing is in excess of 9 runs per over which was at the start of the innings.
In excess of 11 runs and over, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, yes. But at the start of the innings, it was 9
Yes.
because of the slow run rate. Now it's gone in excess of 11 runs per over, and the wickets column has been dented too. Not once, not twice, but thrice.
Absolutely. In fact, I think it might be more than 2 runs a ball. If I'm not, my math is absolutely horrible.
It's 11.2 at the moment. Just
Okay.
checked with
11.2.
So, getting there. Another good over, and it will be 2 runs per delivery. But a spin introduced in the form of Nizakat Khan. He bowled 1 over in the first game, picked up a wicket, and now probably Azaz Khan fancying him for another bowl, and he will be rolling his arm over. He was very much successful in the first inning with the bat, scoring a century. Let's see how he goes in the second innings. This one is in the air, but will be safe. Will be a couple of runs, is it? No, it's just one. So good fielding there out in the deep, restricting the opposition just to a single. And with that, the score is now on 44 for 3. Arshad Khan will be on strike.
Have we seen Ehsan Ayaz in this innings?
Not yet.
Opportunity once again, cries of catch it, but falls short,
either, right?
and it's gonna be another single. So living dangerously out there, both the batsmen.
I have to say, interesting captaincy from Azaz Khan. We haven't seen Ehsan Ayaz or Ahan Trivedi at the bowling crease yet, and they were so effective in putting on the squeeze in the middle overs in the last game.
I think it's more to do with the fact that they certainly know that they probably will be featuring in the finals, and they want to give their bowlers a rest, and they want them to be fit because the bowl in the morning probably they will be introduced in the next over, in the later stages of the game, or maybe even next over. But for now, they want to try different combinations. They want to see if they can fill in that slot of the 6th or the 7th bowler. This one has been played cutely for a single yet again, and with Nizakat bowling. He bowled 1 over in the previous game, as you said, picked up 1 wicket. So probably they just want him to get a feel of how it is to roll his arm if required in the finals.
Yes, absolutely. And the last game, he bowled that last over when the game was practically done and dusted. This one is going to run down to the fine leg boundary. Just about gets over the rope. So Nizakat Khan concedes his first boundary. Like I was saying, oh, and that's 50 up for the Hong Kong Islanders in the 8th over.
Yes, it's 7.5 overs, and Hong Kong Islanders are now 51 for 3. So still going pretty slow for the liking, especially when you're chasing in excess of 180, a single to finish the over. So after 8, it will be 52 for 3, and we're talking about bowlers not being used and the bowlers that have been given the opportunity. As a captain, if you were a Kowloon Lions captain, you would be in a happy place because we've been talking about the fact that they've won the first game. Now pretty much they're in a comfortable position at the moment. So you would want to experiment, try all the combinations because you want to be ready for the finals. You don't want to take those experimentations in the finals. You want to do it before the finals.
And they'll probably know as well that they've got 1 foot in the finals. Even if they do end up on the losing side in this game, it's hard to imagine them losing within 17, 18 or even 19 overs. So it's either their game or the Islanders are going to win this in the last over. Smart money would tell you that. But yes, a 32-run margin victory in the first game. It sets up their tournament really well. That's been clocked towards deep mid-wicket, long on.
And that was a good attempt there, but I think he crossed the boundary rope on that occasion, so probably will be a boundary.
Yes, it is a boundary. Some good sportsmanship from Nizakat Khan.
He got that one out there, and 4 runs added to the opposition's tally. Hong Kong Islanders now on 56. It's Simandeep Singh who struck that boundary, defended that one on that occasion. So Arshad and Simandeep Singh both now in double figures, but what is important for Islanders is to get that small partnership and those cameos. Who's going to provide those cameos, those 10 ball 30s, 10 ball 25?
Well, Simandeep is certainly capable of doing that. Like we talked about before, he hit more sixes than boundaries in the HK Premier League T20.
Another interesting aspect for me is Dhananjay Rao is bowling out his 4th over. So he's bowling out his quota of overs in one go. This is something that we didn't see from the Hong Kong Islanders. They saved one over from Mohsin Khan and didn't use his quota of 4 overs, something that Nitish and I we were talking when the first innings was being bowled, that you might have used him for all his quota of 4 overs. The exact thing has been done by Azaz Khan. He's used Dhananjay Rao. He was successful. He's picked up wickets and now he's bowling his 4th over. So the strategy is clearly in place, and one seeming to be more effective than the other from the opposition. This time short delivery has been pulled, didn't come from the middle of the bat. It will just fetch them a single. Oh, they're going back for another run. That's good running from the batting team. They sense that they know the situation, they are trailing behind, and wherever they can squeeze in a run, they would go for it. So good running there on that occasion from Arshad and Simandeep Singh. Goes on to 59. Hong Kong Islanders are now 59 for 3, 8.4 overs. Too much to be done in the last 10. We just hope that if you're a Hong Kong Islanders fan, there is some fireworks in store for the next 30-35 minutes.
DJ Rao, tucked away off his hips, should just be a single, and it is. I'll tell you what, Sahil, if we get down to a position where 60 is required off the last 30, they still have wickets in hand, one of these two at the crease. The Kowloon Lions' death bowling has not yet been tested. DJ Rao, he's going to bowl out. Azaz Khan, he is not bowling today. Oh my word, how big is this? It's big enough. That's into the stands. A really, really important maximum there. It looks like Simandeep is the one who struck that.
Indeed, it was Simandeep who got that one right from the middle of the bat. It was a short delivery, probably not the best delivery that not one of the best deliveries that Dhananjay Rao has bowled so far. He finished his quota of 4 overs. Was too short for anyone's liking except Simandeep's liking, because he struck that one and got 6 runs for that. So it's 66 for 3 after the end of 10 overs. Rao conceding 28 in his quota of 4 overs. Oh, it's 9 overs, so there's still 1 over to go for the halfway mark, and it will be Nizakat Khan who will be bowling the 10th over.
This is interesting as well. Nizakat bowling the 10th over. A bit of an opportunity here for the Islanders. They've got some momentum with this partnership, both Harun Arshad and Simandeep Singh. They look pretty well set to me.
Indeed, it will be interesting to see as to how many these two can get before they go for the maximizing aspect of in the last few overs. Nizakat Khan down the track comes Arshad, and that's a single. They're going back for 2. It's close chance. No, it's a misfield there, so it will be 2 more runs, and that's good running from both the batsmen out in the middle. Score moves on to 68 with Arshad on 18 and Simandeep on 19. So good consolidation phase, one would say, after the early loss of wickets. Now it's just that they have to carry on with this momentum and set a platform where they can go for the maximums.
That's down to long on. It should be cut off quite easily, and it is.
Another short delivery on that occasion from Nizakat Khan. Didn't get the timing that he would have liked, but will fetch him a single nonetheless. And as a result, the strike will now be with Simandeep Singh.
That's clothed down to long on for just a single. I have to say, Sahil, easy singles available on the leg side. Both of these batters with the ability to clear the ropes. I don't think anything too extravagant is needed.
We saw the same strategy used by Kowloon Lions in the first game as well. They had easy single on the offering on the leg side, but they had protection on the boundary deep. The good running here on that occasion,
brilliant.
once again, making the singles into 2s, putting pressure on the fielder. That's exactly what you hope when you're watching a good game of cricket, and that's what these two are doing at the moment out in the middle. This will put pressure on the bowler, because even if he's not conceding a boundary, if he ends up giving like a couple of 2s and singles, the score will be around 9 or 10, and if he gets 1 boundary, if the batsman get 1 boundary, it will be in excess of what is required. So good cricket altogether.
And I tell you what, I'm not surprised at all. Harun Arshad is really, really good at this. He did it so well against Nepal in the ACC Eastern Region T20 tournament. That was a big win for Hong Kong. Unfortunately, the fate of the Men's Asia Cup, it's up in the air. It's looking quite unlikely that it's going to take place.
Isn't it confirmed?
It's confirmed?
India's winning a second team. It's the same time as the WTC.
Yeah, but PSL.
Is that
PSL
affected?
postponed because of COVID.
But do you think that will affect the Asia Cup?
Yeah, they're gonna hold it at the same time.
Interesting.
But in any case, that victory was really important to get them into the final round of qualifying for the Asia Cup. It was a big win against Nepal. And Harun Arshad,
Played look out for Kandeep Sandhu.
and I believe he took 4 wickets in that game. 5 wickets? 4 or 5 wickets. I believe he took 5 wickets.
5, I think.
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Meanwhile, we're halfway mark. We're at the halfway mark and it's 74 for 3. So 189 required. That's another 115 runs to win this game. 10 overs left. So it's already around 11.5 runs per over. We'll have to see whether they can press the foot on the pedal and then get those extra runs that we conceded. Probably, again, we'll get back to the fact that extras in the first inning, if you could have limited to about 10, I would say at the most, that would have saved you those 15 runs. And last 10 overs, 100 runs with wickets in hand. Still, this is still possible. It's just that we'll have to see as to how the two batsmen out in the middle plan this run chase.
New bowler in Kandeep Sandhu.
Gandeep Sandhu, he's gotta be one of the tallest, if not the single tallest bowler on show so far today. Brought into the side in place of Mehran Zaib. So skipper Azaz Khan having the luxury of another seamer to turn to. Let's see what Gandeep can do. He runs in for his first delivery.
Oh,
Full
the
of
keeper,
length.
the
And
keeper
that's-
is standing up, and that's a wide delivery.
Well kept.
Well kept on that occasion. The keeper doesn't seem too pleased by that effort, but we certainly are, because it was drifting down the leg.
Hishan Ali.
Is Hishan
Kandeep, I
Ali
think
the
he's
keeper?
Like, yeah, I think he's like 17.
And tall lad, Gandeep, my bad. Tall lad, this guy, and he has quite a pace. This one is in the air. It's a chance. It certainly is a chance, is it? Oh, it's been spilled yet again.
That's 4.
It's a boundary there on that occasion, and it's a catch drop once again by Ehsan Ayaz. And something that we've been talking about, something that Trent mentioned earlier during his stint, that he's not happy with the fielding effort presented by the boys, and catches being dropped is something that we have gotten accustomed to in the first 2 games that we've seen. This time outside our stump, and it's a dot delivery.
Kandeep is 18.
18-year-old
Half
Kandeep.
18. Still growing.
So we'll have to see as to how he could have had his first wicket in the second delivery
Yeah.
itself. It's just that the fielder probably on the boundary misjudged it, came in a couple of steps inside thinking that it would be there, but then wasn't to be. So shot wide outside has been played towards the deep cover region for a single, and it's with that single it's 80 for 3 Hong Kong Islanders.
Staying in it, Islanders, not out of it yet. Staying in the game.
Yep, I don't think they're out of it at all. Like I said, 55-60 in the last 5 overs, definitely chaseable.
Yes.
Especially if one of these two are still at the crease. Harun Arshad facing up to Gandeep. Very intelligent there, just keeping the scoreboard ticking. And the dugout know it too.
Bowling has been really good from Gandeep, what I've seen so far. Tall lad using his height, bowling it in the good lengths. Apart from the third delivery, which was a bit wayward, too much on the outside, was width was offered, but the other 2 deliveries, if you see, has been good back of the length. There has been good bounce and good carry so far. Again, this chance once again. Will it be taken this time? Oh yes, it is. So wicket for Gandeep in his first over itself. Shouldn't been on the second delivery, but nonetheless, it's on the 5th delivery, and he has dismissed Simandeep Singh. And as a result, Hong Kong Islanders have lost yet another wicket at the score of 81. Now they are 4 wickets down. So Sandhu proving his mettle, picking up wicket in the first over itself.
His first over at this level of cricket, because he didn't feature. I don't think he played a Premier League game either, although he was in the squad. So
we could hear Nizakat backing the bowler, cheering him up for his efforts, and the results have soon followed. The new batsman out in the middle for Hong Kong Islanders is Ehsan Khan.
This could be fun, Ehsan Khan. Wow. Remember the first game of that Premier League tournament? LSW versus HKCC. It looked like LSW were out of it.
And then Ehsan Khan, Waqas Khan turned the game.
Absolutely.
Ehsan Khan is quality.
Ehsan Khan, a proper batsman. Make no mistake.
He will tell anyone who lets he's a proper batsman.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've crunched the numbers. He's one of the leading run scorers in club cricket. So
it's actually quite surprising that he hasn't translated those returns to the international arena. But you get a feeling he's just one international innings away from turning everything around. In any case, he's got a tall order because they need 108 of 55 balls. That required run rate getting closer and closer to 12 runs and over.
Yes, it's a tough ask and a good beginning there for Gandeep. He's going to be pulling his last delivery of the first over, giving away just 7 runs so far. Oh, that's a chance! There was a chance for stumping, but Zishan Ali wasn't able to grab that one, and as a result, Haroon survives.
It's 81 for 4 after 11. Exactly 12 runs and over needed. Now, I have to say, a bit of a let off there by Zishan Ali. He was let off a few times, so I guess he's giving one back to the opposition, making things fair. In any case, the Islanders will be happy that they did manage to up the run rate, and Haroon Arshad is still out there at the crease. Interesting move to hold Ehsan Khan back to number 6, and only time can tell whether or not that's the right move.
To be fair, who would he have batted ahead of? If you look at the batting lineup, it's a pretty decent batting lineup from the Islanders, so it's hard to see Ehsan batting higher.
A little more controversy in the commentary tent. Nitesh Hemlani, he likes Ehsan's batting condition.
Change in bowling meanwhile.
Position. Not batting condition, his batting position.
Change in bowling meanwhile, it's Ahan Trivedi who will be bowling the first over.
Oh, that one just kept low.
Of this game, it kept low.
Oh, it's my favorite battle. Ehsan Khan versus Ahan Trivedi. Two generations of Hong Kong off-spin bowling.
A 16-17 year gap between these two off-spinners. It's off-spinner versus off-spinner. Oh, yes.
Smartly played there for a single, and strike has now been given back to the in-batsman, Haroon Arshad, who's on 23 from 18.
So we saw Dan Pascoe win the battle of left-arm spinners against Aftab Hussain. Now we've seen the battle of the off-spinners.
Absolutely. Ahan Trivedi, the teenager. Oh, that was a chance!
It's been spilled once again. That's probably an easy chance on that occasion, but
Ahan Trivedi, what an interesting day he's having. Amazing run out in that first game. Really smart bit of fielding, and well, I would not describe this as smart.
He should have taken that.
Yes, he definitely should have taken that.
Well, he can't blame any of the fielder because it was him, he himself, who had to grab onto that one. But nevertheless, another chance for Haroon Arshad. So he's been let go in 2 consecutive deliveries. One a stumping, one a cotton bowl. Let's see what he does now. He defends that one. But if you look at the required rate, and if you look at how things have panned out so far, it's easy to see that something's got to give. They have to go for it. They just can't keep rotating strike and think about playing it till the very end. One of them has to go for it, while the other one has to rotate the strike.
Down the ground for a single. It's interesting you say that because Haroon Arshad was eyeing up that gap at deep mid-wicket. You got mid-wicket in the circle and a square leg, Charlie Wallace back on the boundary. So that's definitely a potential area to aim at. But it's also the longest boundary on show today. Once again, down the ground for a single. Singles are just simply not going to cut it. Great over, except for the drop catch. Even with the drop catch, just a couple of runs off it. That required rate rising yet again.
Indeed, and it's 84 for 4 after 12 overs. They're just going at 7 runs per over. We'll have to see as to if there is change in bowling. No, it isn't. It's gonna be Gandeep who will be bowling his second over. He picked up a wicket in his first over itself.
Yeah, no, it's right.
105 still required from the remaining 7 overs, a rate of 13 runs per over. We'll have to see as to how the batting team pans out this run chase. Gandeep bowling the first delivery of his second over. Full, that's been played towards the mid-wicket region for a single, and that will rotate the strike and bring Harun Arshad back on strike now. Islanders chasing 189.
Still 100 to go.
Are currently 85 for 4, 104 still needed at 13.3 runs per over, and Gandeep now will be bowling the second delivery of his second over. This time it's in the air, it's been scooped. Will it be taken? Yes, it is taken. Yet another wicket, and the wicket of Harun Arshad. It's a big wicket of Harun Arshad. He gave a couple of chances and wasn't able to make the most of those chances as he tried to scoop that one, play that lap shot, but top edge that one, and a good catch there out.
I think was it Ahan Trivedi who took that catch?
By Ahan Trivedi.
That catch he holds. Mixing up for the drop catch earlier.
And Gandeep Sandhu getting his second wicket in the second over. So
very good start.
Great start there by Sandhu and Hong Kong Islanders. You would be gutted to see how things are kind of unfolding at the moment for them.
Yeah, this is starting to get away from them a bit. Akbar Khan, the new batsman, in again. Another batsman's got a very good club record and has played some good innings at Premier League level, but this is just too steep a target, one feels, right? Ehsan Khan, Akbar Khan can both hit a long ball. Now it's just about getting your eye in ASAP and doing it, because 12 runs, 13 runs and over required.
Well,
not much time left for them.
Half of the team is back in the hut, and it's the lower middle order, one would say, if they wouldn't want to call it as tailenders. It's the middle order and the lower middle order that are out in the middle at the moment. This one full good fielding there by his own bowling.
That's gonna sting.
Certainly saved a run there for his team. And with that, it's still 85 for 5 for Hong Kong Islanders. They're pretty much, the required run rate is now almost 14 runs per over.
Gandeep also one of the promising young quick bowlers coming through in the Epic Group All-Star Series. We saw Mohammad Waheed, we saw Ayush Shukla. All of them bring something a little bit different. Each of them have their own unique skill sets. But you can see it's very talented. Lots of very talented young bowlers. And Gandeep obviously has got his height pretty accurate. We've not seen him stray too much in line and length, just one wide his first ball. And since then he's been on the money.
A lot of talent on offer in terms of what Hong Kong cricket has to present. This delivery from Gandeep now has been slashed for a single. There is protection out there in the deep, so it will just be a single to the board. With that, it will be Ehsan Khan who will now be on strike. Akbar Khan opened his account with that single, but now he can sense that it's going further away from the Islanders.
Sorry, the scorecard's a bit wrong. That was Ehsan Khan who got the single. They crossed over. They crossed.
86 for 5 Hong Kong Islanders. One delivery left to complete the 13th over. Gandeep into his run up at the moment has been defended. So it's a dot delivery to finish the 13th over. 86 for 5 it will remain for Hong Kong Islanders, and now the required rate inching closer towards 15 runs per over. So still 103 required and just 7 overs remain.
Yeah, this is going to be tough here. Young bowlers have done very well for Kowloon Lions today, but they have been helped by having some scoreboard pressure behind them.
Smart captaincy also from Izaz. He's used his bowlers really well, and the field placements also. Ahan Trivedi meanwhile commencing his second over. This one came down the track. It will just be a single for Ehsan Khan, and with that the strike will now be with Akbar Khan, who is on a note at the moment.
Just played one ball. Also, the key thing, they've taken their catches by and large. A couple of missed chances still, but
they got the breakthroughs early on, so a lot of opportunities were provided in both the innings. In the first innings, Hong Kong Islanders couldn't stick to their catches, but in the second one, I wouldn't say a perfect show on the field, but somewhat much better than the other two teams in the day today. Oh, that was hit straight down the ground for yet another single. Singles are not going to do the job. You need 15 runs per over. It's just going to be more pressure. How do you chase from here on? In the sense that net run rate is going to might play an important factor. Would have played an important factor if they would have won. But now, if Hong Kong Islanders to lose this one, it will become a virtual semi-final between Islanders and New Territory Tigers as to who they will face Kowloon Lions in the afternoon game.
Yep, absolutely. Winner of tomorrow morning's game will probably play the Kowloon Lions in the final. 100 to win of 39. Another good ball. I don't hear these bowling very well. Hassan Khan slowed his head off there, but get the single. They'll get that single.
Great bowling there by Ahan Trivedi. If you look at Sandeep Sandhu and Trivedi's figures, 3.4 overs between them, they've just given 16 runs.
And 2 wickets, wonderful.
Exactly, and let's see how the last 2 deliveries pan out.
They've bowled well. There's not been any long hops, not been any full tosses.
This one is an opportunity. Will it be taken? Yes, it is. Another wicket for Ahan Trivedi, and the first wicket for Ahan Trivedi. One more wicket for the Islanders.
The Lions. Number 13 holds a catch. I think that's Jack Meadows, number 13?
Yeah, Jack
Meadows, yeah. Good catch, well judged.
It's just falling apart here at the moment for Hong Kong Islanders. Ehsan Khan, the last man to be dismissed.
Ahan Trivedi winning the battle of the off-spinners. Dismissing his fellow number, Ehsan Khan.
It's 90 now for 6, the Islanders.
We're into the bowlers now. It's Gazanfar Mohammad Boxer. My guess would be Waheed will be the next batsman in.
Well, we have gone that far already, predicting as to who the next batsman is going to be.
Yeah, it's Gazanfar. Gazanfar can hit the ball. I've seen him hit a few sixes here and there. Long levers. It's a very steep mountain to climb here.
Indeed.
And it shows you this pitch is good to bat on, but not so good you could hit your first ball. You need to get your eye in, you need to get the timing. It's a bit slow, it's holding the pitch a little bit. There's some spin, a bit of seam movement. Bowling has been very good from the Kowloon Lions. And very few bad balls, very few deliveries they can just easily put away. Yeah.
Ahan Trivedi now to bowl his last delivery of the second over. And this one down the track will be a single at least. They look for 2, and yes, they are going for 2. They will make it back comfortably. So at the end of 14 overs, Hong Kong Islanders are 92 for 6, and we were talking about the 4 overs between Sandhu and Trivedi. It's just 18 runs and 3 wickets.
Yeah, brilliant.
You got the wrong bat.
Yeah, I got the wrong bat. They keep crossing like a bit.
You keep getting across them.
Yeah.
.2 is the required run rate now, chasing a target of 189. Sandhu will continue with his third over, picked up 2 wickets, given away 9 runs.
Very good debut for Sandeep Sandhu. Very good signs for the future of Hong Kong cricket to see youngsters step up and perform so well. Azaz Khan, Isakat Khan, Zishan Ali all have scored significant runs today. The spinners have bowled well from all teams. Good signs.
Chance, a direct hit there on that occasion, but the batsman was inside. He made his ground comfortably. Good feeling there by Kowloon Lions, and that's the kind of level that Trent expects his men to have, and probably would be expecting that they hold on to more catches tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. First game, we've got a few more games coming up, and as you mentioned, there's been a lack of high level cricket for all of these players. They have been playing Sunday League. This is just one step above, so puts that pressure on them and shows them where they need to improve. That's going to be wide from Gandeep. I think we're getting to the point now where we can safely predict Kowloon Lions in the final against the winner of tomorrow morning's game, 9:30 a.m. Hong Kong time start. Be sure to join us then. Hope you've been enjoying our coverage. Of course, a shout out to all our sponsors for making this possible. NVPlay providing the technology for scoring the game today, and all the highlights and the replay packages you'll see later. We have to of course thank Order Online Hong Kong for our food and beverage partner, Cityscope as our media partner, My Protein for providing supplements, including the protein shakes we're giving to our man of the matches after each game. and Montgomery Sports for these beautifully designed kits. That's been flicked off the hips and will be 4 runs down to fine leg.
A welcome boundary there for the Hong Kong Islanders. It's a little bit too late, one would say, but 4 runs on the board nevertheless.
Runs are runs. Akbar Khan is again one of those batters who constantly gets underrated. I try to talk him up as much as I can when I see him play. He has really good club numbers. Plays for one of the smaller Premier clubs, USRC, the newest Premier club. Has played for Hong Kong under 19 in the past. Has consistently scored runs at club level. Has gotten a lot of opportunities at the Premier League level, and good to see him back in contention in the All-Star series. That's another wide on the leg side.
Yes, probably another chance, but a difficult take for the keeper Zishan Ali on that occasion.
Standing up to the wicket. 100 up for the Islanders. Sandhu Nan is third over. Has a couple of wickets, must be feeling good. Can he pick up a third wicket?
Who would be more happy right now? New Territory Tigers, because they're still in the chance to win this one. They can still make it to the finals.
That's true. I think the New Territory Tigers will want to have a chance to make the final. If they had this game gone in the favour of the Islanders, it would have been a much tougher ask for the New Territory Tigers. Now they've just got to win. Not worry about net run rate, not worry about calculations. Just go out there tomorrow, put in a better showing, take their catches, and it could be another chance.
Meanwhile, Gandeep pulling his 5th delivery. This one shot outside the slashes. There's an edge.
And it's running down.
It will probably be cut off, but yet another chance. Probably hit the glove of Zishan Ali.
They did. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's see if we can see what happened there. Playing the replay for all of you watching on Fan Code and YouTube. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far. Yeah, I think it did deflect off the glove. Yeah.
Yep.
It did look a little bit like that. Bowling well here, Gandeep. It's tough keeping up to the stumps. Oh, what a shot. Flat as you like. That's a flat 6.
That's a flat 6
Gazamfar.
straight on the
Gazamfar.
sponsors board.
As I mentioned before, long levers. Gazamfar Mohammed can whack it. Got hold of that one there, extended his arms fully, swung through the line. It's good to see a lot of the Hong Kong bowlers do take some pride in their batting. So even if they are tail-enders, they like hitting sixes, they like coming out there having a swing. You know, that's always good to see. You always want to see your batsmen want to bowl a bit, your bowlers want to bat a bit. Give some good depth, some good options aside. Productive over that for the Islanders, but there's 16 runs off that over. They still need 16 and over to win.
They have to do it consistently now.
Yeah, 81 and 30 balls. Ahan Trivedi to bowl his 3rd over. How good has Ahan Trivedi been for a 16-year-old?
Absolutely.
Lovely loop, very accurate, getting a bit of turn off the wicket. Even showing up some variations, firing a few quicker, bowling a few slower. Seems to understand his field and what lines and lengths are required of him. Seems to have a good relationship with the captain. Very impressive. Impressed in the Premier League as well for KCC. Obviously helps that Azaz Khan plays with him at KCC. That's it down, up and over into the softball court.
So that's a 6 on that occasion, coming out from the bat of Akbar Khan.
Again,
and with that, the score now moves on to 114 for 6. It's a bit too late, I would feel. Like, if they can do it, if they started doing this a couple of overs earlier, they still would have been with a chance. They still are with a chance, but they have to do it consistently, and they have to not think about losing any more wickets, but just playing these shots on the merit of the ball and scoring runs freely. Down the track comes Akbar Khan. This time it will just be a single towards the long off region, and with that the score now moves on to 115 for 6.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The sun beginning to set here at Mission Road, and perhaps the sun also setting on this Hong Kong Islanders innings.
Well, that's quite poetic there from Jay. But they still have a chance to make it to the finals when, even if they lose today, they will have a virtual semi-final clash. Meanwhile, edged, and this is coming towards us. This will certainly be yet another boundary. And going for the long hoik, takes the edge. There is no slip in place, so that will be 4 more runs. Ahan Trivedi has been wonderful with the first 2 overs. This over, probably the batsman just going after him.
Yeah.
They haven't, apart from that one stroke from Akbar Khan that came from the middle of the bat, quite streaky edges, but runs nevertheless.
Runs are runs. Gazamfar will take that. Mr. Hassan Mohammed Khan also come in the lower order and play a nice cameo in the first game. Bowlers can bat a bit.
This
Oh,
time
nice
smashed.
shot,
That's gonna
nicely
be another
shot.
boundary.
That's
So
done for getting into action. Yeah.
back-to-back boundaries there for Gazamfar and Hong Kong Akbar Khan.
No, that's
And
because I'm forgetting the boundary. Sorry.
back-to-back boundaries there for Hong Kong Islanders, with their score moving on to 123 for 6. That's the kind of intent probably you wanted a couple of overs
Yep.
earlier, one would say.
Yep.
But still, it's never too late. It never say never till the time the game finishes. And the hope for Hong Kong Islander fans would be that this heist comes off. This
another
one
edge.
edge again, but no fielder in slips. So that will just be a single to finish the over.
So over that again, 16 off it. So that's 2 overs back to back. We've gotten 16 runs.
I can jump back in.
124 for 6.
A bit too late in the day for Hong Kong Islanders, Jay. Do you think that?
Charlie Wallace.
Probably, especially with Charlie Wallace returning to the bowling crease. But hey, you know what? 65 of 4. Stranger things have happened in the game of cricket. Charlie Wallace with 2 overs left.
Yep.
And yes, Charlie Wallace with 2 overs left. This over, and you'd assume the penultimate over. He's been one of the most impressive bowlers on show today. 3 wickets to break the back of the New Territories Tigers chase in that first game. Couple of wickets here, and he could put the final few nails in the Hong Kong Islanders' coffin. Here comes big Charlie Wallace. Back of a length, that hard length once again. Just a single.
16 is it's 16.7 the required rate now, and it's getting tougher and tougher as just 23 balls remain. They will need to play these cameos on a consistent basis, as we have been mentioning in the past couple of overs. They did pull off 32 runs in the last 2 overs, but then to do it for the next 4 overs will be in a great finish if that happens.
Incredible.
One thing potentially working in Akbar Khan's favor is that mid-on and mid-off are up. You can be rest assured that Charlie Wallace will be hitting that hard length once again. There we go. It's a chance. Nizakat takes it. That's 7 down now for the Hong Kong Islanders. Nizakat Khan, like Nitesh pointed out, a safe pair of hands, whether he's on the boundary or up in the circle.
Yep.
Charlie Wallace with his first wicket of the innings, his 4th one
For the
today. Really impressive day out for Charlie Wallace. 7 down now. Akbar Khan walks back to the dugout, dejected. We're going to get confirmation on who the new man is in just a moment.
Number 7. Ayush is coming above Wahid.
There we go. Ayush Shukla. He had some wheels with the ball. What can he do with the bat? Well, he's going to have to do something pretty special. 64 required off just 22 deliveries. That required rate closing in on 18 runs and over. Here comes big Charlie Wallace looking for that second wicket.
Good
Back of
delivery.
length. Once again, just a single.
Yes, and pretty much safe to say that Kowloon Lions will be very happy on both the games, on the way to win the second one.
Yep.
And with that, they will be probably thinking about how to fare in the finals tomorrow afternoon.
Yep.
But the two teams that will be going back to the dressing room thinking much as to what went wrong today would be the New Territories Tiger and Hong Kong Islanders. They will be squaring up against each other tomorrow, and the winner of that game will most likely be playing against Kowloon Lions, because the writing is on the wall but still not cemented yet.
Oh, playing a miss there. Not easy to come in facing this type of gas. But it's clear that the batsman will have to do something different. I'm just thinking perhaps backing away and trying to slash it over backward point who's in the circle. That could be one option. At the end of the day, trying to swat Charlie Wallace down the ground, not always easy. That's turned away. Looked like it may have come off the pad.
Certainly
Waiting for the
has.
signal. And yes, it's one leg by. So this brings Gazanfar back on strike.
I'm going to bring up that thing that we talked about in the first innings again, the extras. Now if you look at the margin, if you remove those, I'm not saying that obviously no team gives
Yeah.
0 extras, but the intent should be there to limit those extras. Had it been even half, this would have still been in the grasp of the last 4-5 overs, chasing around 50-60, but still would have been possible. But then these are the key pointers. These are some of the areas that probably the teams and the coaching staff would want to look on. Apart from the catches, that's something that Trent himself pointed out, that he hasn't been too pleased with the fielding efforts that have been on display in the first 2 games so far.
Absolutely. And with that single, the 17th over is complete. 128 for 7.
And the man coming back on.
A decent return there from Charlie Wallace. His figures read 1 for 26 after 3.
Yep. And the man.
And yes, it's Dan the Man Pascoe to bowl the 18th over.
He's had a good day as well. Couple of wickets, good innings with the bat.
Absolutely.
Economical.
3 wickets so far for Dan Pascoe today.
If you look at the bowling scorecard for Kowloon Lions, everyone has chipped in with at least 1 wicket, apart from Nizakat, who's bowled a couple of overs. But then Nizakat probably contributed enough in the first game where he scored a century and picked up a wicket. So it's been a all-around unit from the team members. They've introduced 6 bowlers, and out of those 6 bowlers, 5 bowlers have picked up wickets. So those are the positives that they will be looking at, like how as a bowling unit they have done fairly well. As a batting unit, Nizakat Khan stood out in the first game. In the second game, Azaz Khan, the captain himself, along with Zishan Ali, the keeper as well, playing a brilliant innings. So they'll be pretty happy with the efforts that they've put on. And in comparison to the other team, this one is straight down the ground, and that will be a 6. So boundaries keep flowing in, but little too late is a question.
Yeah.
Probably a little too late. But Dan Pascoe proving that he is human after all. Coming in for some rough treatment there. Not used to that today. And with 54 still required of the remaining 16 deliveries, they're going to need a lot more of that.
You have to talk about the pitch as well. The pitch has certainly been really good for all the 4 innings. There has been consistent bounce, there has been consistent there hasn't been much done, but the bounce has been there. It's been good for the batters. There's been something there for the bowlers as well, and that's why we are having these high scoring games, and the executions of the skills of these players are being put to a test, because if you falter a bit, whether you're bowling or batting, there will be a chance for the opposition to get back into the game.
I actually like the slightly different pitch conditions in both games. We got a much faster pitch in the first game. Charlie Wallace and Hassan Khan Mohammed, of course, both getting a lot of purchase. It was really exciting to watch those two in action. Especially the way that Charlie Wallace bounced out Kinchit Shah. Oh, that's straight up in the air. Long on is running in. Just lands in no man's land there.
Nizakat Khan tried his level best to get his fingers onto that one, but as Jay pointed out, lands in no one's land there.
Absolutely. The batsman just lucky that he hit it so poorly. But that's okay. Dan Pascoe fires this one in. He's changed up his pace really well. Not afraid to flight the delivery, but very judicious with the way he flights the delivery and how often. So it's been a great day for Dan Pascoe. It's been a great day for the Kowloon Lions. In fact, here comes Dan the Man. That's through extra cover, and it will be cut off. So that closes out another over. 139 for 7. The Hong Kong Islanders. If you're still keeping count, they need 50 of the last 12 deliveries to pull off, well,
one of the biggest heights.
Yeah.
One of the biggest heights in cricket. It certainly is possible for the next couple of deliveries. After that, it's gonna be like you can hit like 8 sixes, but then you need like someone like a Yuvraj Singh or someone like a Herschel Gibbs to step up, or like a Kyron Pollard who recently hit 6 sixes against Sri Lanka. How can we forget that? Dhananjay picked up a hat-trick, and in the next over went for 6 sixes.
That was incredible.
Greatest leveler, right? Cricket.
Here comes Charlie Wallace. Oh, he's hurried onto him. My word. It's a good thing he got some sort of bat on that.
Yeah, it hit the toe of the bat.
Oof. Had he missed that, it could have been ugly. Charlie Wallace. Oh,
Guys like Charlie Wallace and Hassan Khan have extracted good pace and bounce of this wicket.
very true.
Promising signs.
49 now needed off 11. Quite unlikely. Here's Charlie Wallace. And that might be a 6. Nope.
That's an
1 bounce, 2 bounce. It stops in the outfield.
Wow.
And it's cut off.
By the skipper himself, Azaz Khan, doing the groundwork there. Saved a couple of runs for his teams.
It has to be said, Charlie Wallace is not an easy person to hit straight down the ground, bowling that hard length. Anyone who's ever tried to do that has hit it pretty high up into the air, but not very long. Here comes Charlie Wallace once again. That should be a wide.
Bangs in short. Too short on that occasion. And as a result, it's going to be 1 extra. How many extras has Kowloon Lions conceded?
Whatever the number, I can guarantee you
11.
it's a big difference.
It's 11.
There you go. It's a sizable difference.
9 wides and 2 leg byes. And if you look at this one.
Oh
straight
yes,
down the ground.
that's 6.
Ooh, nearly takes out a camera woman.
Whew, our camera woman. She was ducking for her life. Quick reflexes, just about gets out of the way of that one.
We're talking about extras once again. It's 26 when Hong Kong Islanders were bowling. And
Hey, at least we haven't lost another ball, Nitesh.
Oh, I'd rather lose a ball than a camera.
priorities have changed
Yeah.
instantly.
Gazamfa on 30 of 14. Can he get a 50? Does he have enough time to get another 20 runs?
He's become the highest scorer for Hong Kong Islanders. Previously, it was Simandeep Singh with 26.
Gazamfa has hammered his way to 30 of 14. Not that far away. He just needs to have 4 more clean hits, right, to get to his 50. See if Gazamfa can do it.
Yeah, an interesting subplot, must be said. Here's Charlie Wallace. Oh, that's straight down the ground.
To us, but Nizakat Khan is right here.
Nizakat Khan does not know how to misfield the ball,
I
as
know.
far as I know.
I've never seen Nizakat Khan misfield or drop a catch. He's such a valuable asset in the team.
Absolutely.
Especially when he's bowling as well. It's a triple threat there. In the field with the bat, with the ball. Good player.
He's looking over in our direction, making sure we're saying good things about him.
You'll hear it on the broadcast later.
Oh, it's a swing and a miss.
You still, Jay, you still have to tell us which batsman in the Asia region is a better looking batsman in Zakat than he's on form. I don't think you can name one.
Oh my
Zakat's listening.
Shay has been put in a tough spot once again.
You put me in a very tough spot, Mr. Haimlani. Oh, well, look at that. 150 up for the Hong Kong Islanders. Straight down the ground.
That will be yet another
Mistimed.
single.
And that brings to an end the 19th over. 151 for 7. 38 needed off the last over. I have to say, what a great day it's been for everyone, but especially the Kowloon Lions.
Indeed, and if you look at both the games, how they've panned out so far, they've got the better of the opposition in the sense that they won the first game by 32 runs, and they're pretty much on course and winning the second game in about the same margins.
margin, yeah.
If they don't give a team too many runs in the last over.
They only lead by 37, so it could be identical margins.
Yeah, it could be identical margins as well, but we'll have to see.
Very similar flow. They lost the opener early, then one of the top 3 stuck in there, played a long knock.
Field placements were similar. This has been cut to a short third man for a single.
In both games, got 3 wickets in the power play. So it's been a methodical process here by Kowloon Lion back-to-back games.
Bat first,
Bat
get the
first.
runs on the board,
Yeah.
put the scoreboard pressure.
I mean, that'll be interesting to see it in tomorrow's game, in the morning game, with the team batting first one as well. Is that is the scoreboard pressure the key factor here? Ooh,
close. Is that out? Is that a wicket?
I think that's out, yes.
Given out. Is that a stumping or a run out? It's a run out, surely.
Yeah.
Stumping or a run out, Wilson?
Well, he hit it, right?
He hit it, so it's got to be a run out, right?
Gazanfar there. Great work there by Zishan Ali.
Yeah.
It was an inside edge, deflected on the pads of the keeper, and Zishan Ali made sure that he could get the ball, break the stumps as soon as he got hold of the ball, and as a result, Gazanfar has been dismissed. So yet another wicket falls for Hong Kong Islanders, and the new man in for them is Mohammad Wahid.
Good innings by Gazamfa comes to an unfortunate end.
Yes, it was a valiant effort, scoring at nearly 2 runs a ball. Unfortunately, he came in at a time when he probably needed 3 runs a ball to make it a competitive game. Four balls left in this match.
Who's your man of the match, Jay?
Tell you after this delivery. That's been swung away towards deep mid-wicket. It will be cut off, but not before the batsmen get 2. My man of the match, I'm going to have to go for Azaz Khan. Am I missing something here? It's Azaz Khan.
This is
right?
Khan. I think we unanimously can say it is Azaz Khan for his innings of 75. I was impressed with Zishan Ali's innings as well, because he provided the momentum in the end.
Straight up in the air.
Is it a chance? Is it a chance? No, it isn't. It's 6. So still some fireworks being presented by the Hong Kong Islanders.
His first ball. Wahid has taken Dan the man on for 6, his first ball. Second ball, my bad. Sorry, second ball. Oh yeah, he got 2 of the first ball. But both Ayush and Wahid have hit Dan Pascoe for 6. Not something most batsmen in Hong Kong can claim to have done. So not bad from these 2 young fast bowlers.
Very true. 2 balls left in this second match.
Swing
and a miss.
He's gone back in time there.
That was a chance. That was a stumping chance there by Zishan Ali, but kind of missed it there.
Last ball.
Perhaps just getting a little tired. We're playing on a working day as well. Something to take into consideration. The sun is just beginning to set here at Mission Road. Last ball coming up. Swing.
Another
and
miss.
a miss.
Another stumping miss there. Dan kind of unhappy with the performance there by the keeper, but the good thing is Kowloon Lions have secured yet another win and a place in the finals by winning both the games against New Territory Tigers as well as Hong Kong Islanders. So we have one finalist ready, which is the Kowloon Lions. We'll get to know who wins, who makes a spot for themselves in the finals when we see the game between Hong Kong Islanders and New Territory Tigers tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. Handshakes between the players. A 28-run victory for the Kowloon Lions on the back of a 32-run victory this morning. That makes it 2-2, and yes, a spot in the finals. Apologies, fist bumps, no handshakes. Handshakes are not allowed. We don't do that anymore. I don't even know how to shake hands. I've completely forgotten how you're supposed to go about it. But yes, fist bumps, congratulations. The series has been played in good spirits so far. We're halfway through the tournament. Kowloon Lions, they're in the final. Similar formula to both victories. Lose the toss, get put into bat. Win the toss in the second game, bat first. Nizakat starring in that first game with 110. Azaz Khan with 75 in this game. A team effort with the ball and in the field in both cases. Charlie Wallace starring in that first game with 3 wickets. More of a team performance, I'd say, in this game.
Go through the whole match. The second innings only.
And we may as well go through the scorecard for this second innings.
Second innings?
So like we were saying, quite a few starts there for the Hong Kong Islanders batsmen. At one point, Simandeep and Harun Arshad, it looked like they were wrestling back some sort of advantage for the Hong Kong Islanders. That was quite short-lived though, that hope. The required rate just kept on climbing, first to 11, then to 12, then to 15, before absolutely skyrocketing beyond reach. A couple of 20s, a 30, an entertaining 31 from Mohammad Ghazanfar, but nothing much to really speak about. And like we said, on the bowling front for the Kowloon Lions, Charlie Wallace with 1 for 38. Really impressive. Dhananjaya Rao, though, bowling from the Argyle Street end, 2 for 28, bowling the tough overs, including 3 in the power play. Ahan Trivedi, quite impressive yet again. 1 for 25 for him. Nizakat Khan with a couple of overs, he conceded 17. The pick of the bowlers, probably I'd say Dan Pascoe, 2 for 25 in his 4. And I believe that's 4 wickets for Dan Pascoe today, so a pretty good day at the office for the left arm spinner. And oh, we completely forgot about Gandeep Sandhu, 2 for 25 for the 17-year-old, probably the tallest bowler on show today.
Impressive debut.
So yes, an impressive debut for him at this level. I don't believe he played in the Premier League T20. No, he did not play in the Premier League T20 back in November. So a pretty good outing for him as well. Kowloon Lions, easily the best team on show today. We're going to see them in the final tomorrow. A virtual semi-final, however, between the New Territories Tigers and the Hong Kong Islanders. We are getting ready for the presentation ceremony.
Yeah, we'll play that for you in a moment.
And yes, we'll play that for you in a moment. Personally, I will be signing off for the day. Your commentator, Jay Dansagani. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at JCricketDude. And of course, hit us up on social media. Smash that bell icon. Hit that subscribe button to be notified as soon as we go live. Every time we go live, at any time we release a video on YouTube. And follow us on social media at CricketHK. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Nitesh Hemlani for the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed our broadcast of the Premier League T20. A quick thank you to all our sponsors for making this possible. Sorry, quick broadcast of the Epic Group All-Stars T20 series. Thank you to our sponsors, principal sponsor Epic Group, and of course our technology partner NV Play, our food and beverage partner Order Online HK, our media partner at Cityscope Hong Kong, our kits supplier, all provided by Montgomery Sports, and our supplement sponsor, My Protein. So we got a lot of support for this inaugural All-Star Series, Epic Group All-Star Series. The T20 series up first. Day 1 is in the books. Kowloon Lion winning both their games, beating the New Territory Tigers in the morning match, and then the Hong Kong Islanders in the afternoon. Tomorrow morning will be Game 3 of the round robin stage, with the New Territory Tigers taking on the Hong Kong Islanders, the winner of whom will face the Kowloon Lions in the final tomorrow afternoon. Following that, we will have 3 50-over games, the All-Star 50-over series, between the Hong Kong Islanders and the Kowloon Lions. The squads will be redistributed for that game, so the 3 teams we have now will be condensed into 2 teams for the 50-over series. We will announce those squads as soon as this tournament is over. Of course, thank you to everyone who's made this possible. Our commentary team for today were Jay Dansangani. You can find him on JCricketDude on the various social media platforms. We also had assistance of Sahil Magoo from Cityscope, John Wright on the board of directors for Cricket Hong Kong, and of course Trent Johnson making a cameo appearance, Hong Kong men's head coach. We have just had the Man of the Match award ceremony happen off on the sidelines. We'll play that for you shortly. In the meanwhile, let's just recap what happened in today's game. Azaz Khan, our player of the match, 75 of 49. Zishan Ali chipping with a quick 57 of 37 towards the end of the innings. Nizakat Khan following his 100 with 26 of 25. Couldn't get quite going today. Was dismissed shortly after the power play by Ahsan Khan. Quick look at the bowling figures for today. The Hong Kong Islanders bowling figures. 2 wickets for Ahsan Khan, bowled pretty well.
Does Wilson need scissors? Or
Mohsen Khan was excellent, 1 for 12 in his 3 overs. Harun Arshad, Ayush Shakla Waheed, all a bit expensive. And Gazamfar, superbly economical, 4 overs, down for 15. Also had a cameo with the bat in the second innings. The Islanders batting scorecard now on your screen. Gazamfar top scoring with 31 for 16. So a good day out for Mohammad Gazamfar, good day out for the tall leg spinner. It was a good start by Umar and Waqas Khan, but lost too many wickets in the power play, lost 3 wickets in the power play. Dhananjay Rao taking 2 of those, the Professor Dan Pascoe taking 1. Gandeep Sandhu had a fantastic debut at this level. Pretty sure he has not played a Premier League T20 game yet. We'll check that in a moment. But overall, fantastic performance. We will now bring to you very shortly the player of the match presentation ceremony, after which we will sign off for today. Alright, here we go.
Welcome to the Player of the Match ceremony for Game 2 of the Epic Group All-Stars Series. This match was between the Kowloon Lions and the Hong Kong Islanders. I have Trent Johnston here, head coach of the Hong Kong national men's team, to present the award. The award winner will be presented with a bag of protein from our nutrition supplier, My Protein. There are a number of standout performances today. Zishan Ali with 57 of 37 deliveries. Dan Pascoe with 4 overs, bowling 4 overs, 2 for 25. But the winner and player of the match goes to the Kowloon Lions captain, Azaz Khan, for a 75 of 49 balls, including 6 fours and 4 sixes. Azaz Khan.
And we'll give you a bag of protein too. Yep. There you go. Put a photo of that in there. That was full. Trust me.
Alright, that's it for our player of the match ceremony. Azaz Khan winning the lovely trophy, and I believe that was a branched chain amino acid packet from My Protein. Thank you to everyone for tuning and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching on YouTube and on FanCo. We will be back again live tomorrow morning 9:15 a.m. with Game 3. Be sure to join us then. Stay tuned to our social media channels later today, as we will share some highlights from the games today, as well as other assorted coverage. Hope you all had a good time. It's been our pleasure bringing this to you.